Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We're starting today. We have a topic. Well, why are foreigners anti-FBA reparations? Why do they care? What is it to them? Why do they care about our reparations? You know, it's our claim. It's our business. What Ludacris had a song, "Stay Out My Business" back in the day. Those of you old enough to remember it, because it's mine on mine. Well, reparations is my business. It's my business. And I don't understand why you give a damn. So the question of today is why are foreigners anti FBA reparations? And on a side note, we're gonna get into some food a little bit. Ask, um, is FooFoo African cornbread? But that's for a later topic. So moving right along, Wani, why are foreigners anti FBA reparations?
I was pretty shocked to find out that they were because they have CARICOM, and CARICOM has a 10-point plan for reparations, clearly says reparations, and we've never been against it. We're always like, yeah, get in where you fit in. If you can get something, get it. We've been for Native Americans getting what they want from the Congress. We've never rooted against them. Never rooted against anyone. I even was for East Indians getting their stuff back, which they didn't, from the Queen, who has their jewels in the crown. The crown jewels are filled with stolen goods, no receipts, full of stolen gemstones, um, reputed to be ripped off from some of those deities, Indian deities, and of course, Africa. So we've been rooting for all of these people, not knowing that they were rooting against us, not knowing that they would even do that, and really not understanding why they would single us out and feel that we were not deserving to be repaired. I have two great grandfathers. That's close. My grandparents' parents. One of them was enslaved and pretty much forced to join the Union Army and then ended up in Ohio, and the other one was sold to the Federal Army. That's what I found out so far. Now, that's not long ago, and that affects my grandparents. That affected my parents. And I don't know why they're trying to pretend like, oh, it was so long ago. No, Native Americans are being paid for what happened during the same time frame. And we were promised repair multiple times, and they keep reneging on it like they've reneged on treaties with Native Americans. So that's very similar as well. They like to renege. Field Order 15, renege. Reconstruction, renege. Or either they do something and they burn up the town or roll it back in a dramatic way. So we've been going along with the typical behavior from the United States of America, but I am shocked that these other people resent us uh, requesting and organizing around reparations, including Africans who try to use our name to uh, ask for reparations. They're literally in Europe, in Africa, saying that they deserve reparations because their family members, in quotation marks, were taken away. There's actually a man standing around in front of a Black Lives Matter sign in Ireland, trying to convince people that he is part of the transatlantic slave trade abuse. How is an African in Ireland a victim of the transatlantic slave trade?
They have nothing to do with our slave trade claim. It's totally different. It's not equatable. Um, Dr. Howard Zinn talks about the Irish and their plight very clearly on page 226 of his masterpiece. Dr. Howard Zinn says, "quote The immigrant."
No, I meant, wait, I meant the African man was in Ireland trying
Oh,
to convince Irish people that he was a victim of the transatlantic slave trade, so they should treat him nice.
oh no, he's complicit. Listen at what Dr. Snyder's plural have to say about the Africans. Dr. Snyder's says the slaves bought by the slaves are bought by the black traders at fairs. Stop right there. So Africans bought enslaved groups at fairs. What am I saying? I'm saying Africans were complicit in that damn slave trade. Dr. Snyder's further say, which are held for that purpose at distance for upwards of 200 miles from the sea coast. And these fairs are said to be supplied from an interior part of the country. Many Negroes have asserted they have traveled during the revolution several moons. That means months. So, yeah, um, Africans were very complicit in the slave trade. And I think that's part of my theory as to why African foreigners are anti FBA reparations. I think on some level, well, let's do this. When I went to Ghana, I noticed right away something I did not anticipate. I noticed that there was a class of people in Ghana, in Osu and Accra, who seemed to have money. And the money looked like it was old money. And I posited from things I saw later on that that money came from the transatlantic slave trade. These are people who had money from selling us to Europeans. Got it? And I think, given the fact these high society Africans are the ones who actually make it to the United States of America, I think it's very possible that they have an interest in not seeing us rise up because do they possibly view us as property? Were they against slavery? According to Dr. Snyder, hell no. Dr. Snyder says, quote, free Africans as a group by no means objected to the slave trade. Enslavement did not offend their moral sense. As far as the record shows, though nobody wanted to be enslaved, only a few Africans protested against the slave trade. Take that. So that means it was widespread in Africa. They made plenty bank off of us. Could it be that they view us as property? Could it be as they view us as something they just sold and they don't want to see us rise up? We're looking at psychological dynamics that I don't think we understand, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not least, Dr.
And
Snyder. Go ahead, Wani.
no, you can go. I thought you were finished. I was just going to say, and they're still doing it, so it still doesn't offend their morals.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Snyder finally, in conclusion, says the slave trade not only commercialized the economy and changed everyday life of the Africans, but it also corrupted them. And that's what I was staring in the face in Osu and Accra is corrupted ass Africans up there driving BMWs, wearing Gucci. They look ridiculous wearing Gucci. It's not made for our body types. You know what I'm saying? Wearing Gucci dresses with Gucci belts on and thumbing their nose at people. And they had a hierarchy of servants that almost mirrored slaves. And if I didn't know any better, it kind of looked like that. You know, these people, in my opinion, are linked to the people who sold us over here. So, those of us who came from the mainland Africa. And though these are the people who make it to your historical black colleges. These are people who make it to the medical schools and law schools and become high society thumbing their nose. If my theory is correct, these people have a vested interest in not seeing us surpass them, because from what the social hierarchy I saw in Accra in 2023, they really think that they're better than people. How do I know this? Because I ate at their houses, and they would put on shows with the locals, damn near snapping their fingers at them so they could dance for us and cook for us. The implication was, what look at what I can do with them, showing off. But anyway, I digress. What were you gonna say, Wani?
No, I was just going to continue to show that we are blacked out, literally, of these global organizations. So the other immigrants can come over here and get involved with politics, get on the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, and any other civil rights organizations, but we're not allowed to participate in their activities. So with CARICOM, Black Americans were denied membership and observer status because we're not a Caribbean country or Caribbean citizen. but they have South Americans on there as members. They make these, they bend over backwards for people they like. They don't like us, but they want to be on our things. So there's something called the Union of South American Nations. Of course, we were denied membership. They say we're not a South American country or a citizen, but Caribbeans are members. All of a sudden, the Caribbean is South American. The Indian Bureau of Affairs, we're denied membership on there, and we can't observe, we can't be involved at all. They treat their freedmen very poorly and even give them a card saying that they're not native, they don't have any native ancestry. And of course, they don't do a lot of DNA tests on most of these reservations. Each one is different. Each Native American group is different. So maybe some of them might use DNA, but traditionally they don't. They use genealogy and the Dawes rolls, which shows the percentage of the Native American you're claiming as your ancestor. So the reason for denial, get this, is that we're not Native American. And neither are they, because some of them came over here in the 1500s. You just walked across the Bering Strait. You're Siberian, but you're declared a Native American. So here's another issue. The Lumbee tribe is considered Native American, even though they were resistant to it. And they're triracial. So we're triracial and they're triracial, but for some reason, they're accepted as a Native American tribe. We are the only Native Americans in this land. If you walk back across the Bering Strait, you can be a Siberian again. We can't do that. We can't walk across anything and become the same group. We are a group of people who went through an ethnogenesis here in this country, and we don't exist in other places. If we were to be parted out, we would be going to 5 to 6 different continents. There's no place on this planet that would reproduce a DNA profile like a Black American. Another group we were left out of, indigenous protection groups. We are denied. Everybody else is considered indigenous on the earth, even though they just got there. They even consider Arabs indigenous to places. How are you indigenous when you invaded? It's a historical fact that you did a lot of invasions places and took over those places, and they are considered indigenous there, right along with the Bedouins and other people that have had a longer history there. And finally, the African Union, Black Americans are denied membership or to be just to observe what they were doing, right? But guess who
Hmm.
wasn't denied? We were denied because they said you're not an African country and you're not an African citizen. Okay, great. Then why is Israel, Palestine, and other Arab countries allowed to be involved, either be members or observe? So we're getting treated very badly by these people globally and not really acknowledging it because we don't know what to look for. We don't understand. I don't think we can even conceptualize the type of dissing that we've been getting from these people, and now we're seeing it right in our face, and it's hitting very hard.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go
So
ahead.
because Africans are, or yeah, maybe I might be saying this a little bit wrong, but because they were a little bit complicit, because they were not a little bit, because they were complicit in selling us off like that, is that the reason? Is that their reasoning for like this? I don't want to say disliking us, but is it like the idea of you weren't supposed to make it, you weren't never supposed to make it here, so
Yes,
why?
exactly. It's an innate competition. Maybe some other colleague on this page can explain it better than me. But I'm not just making this shit up. I taught with a young professor. He's 26 at historical black college. He taught in He was he had an MBA, but well, he said he had an MBA, but he ended up, this guy from Nigeria, he lied about having an MBA and ended up getting fired. Just there you go. But me and him had dinner one time just to shoot the breeze and talk some shit. And he was telling me that he said, bro, he said, we slick in competition with you. There's a sense of competition with the American Negro, uh, with respect to West Africa. But Stony, I'm gonna let you continue cook because you hit it on the nail on the head. I think it's the idea of, damn, how are you doing this? You weren't supposed to make it. I sold you. My family used to own you. Why are you doing better than me? That's what I think it is. But continue.
That's how I feel because if you ever, sometimes you might have some, let's say, a person that used to do drugs. Like, I say I know of this person that used to do drugs, and they turned their life around and everything like that. And so they don't, they completely turned their life around. But every time this person accomplishes some amazing feat, sober and everything, haven't been back on that for a long time, they always remind that person that you still a crackhead. They don't never give this person that I know personally their just due. They're always going to hold that over their head, that you still a crackhead, you steal this, you steal that. And even though she made it, and even though she, rose through the fire like a phoenix, because we got some of them in our culture, they still have hatred. Like, you was never supposed to make it. She soared higher than the regular people that didn't do drugs. They like, how did you do this? You were down and out. Like, you was down and out. Like, you was strung out. How the hell are you pulling this shit off? You're just a fucking crackhead.
I know someone that had the same identical response from their family. The same thing. She used crack for 10 years, and then for 30 years she didn't and was a regular mother and grandmother, but they never, never stopped calling her a crackhead. And she didn't use any kind of drugs.
I feel like that's what they're doing to us. I feel like the Africans and stuff like that. I feel like that we weren't supposed to make it. You ain't supposed to make it. You just a Negro. You just a nigga. You just a nigger. You ain't supposed to be here.
Or
Like, they.
the inverse. I sold you. I'm supposed to be doing better than you.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Because you was
Also,
down and
the
out.
also the classes of slave and Dalit, those are deeply ingrained, especially slave, in the mentalities of Africans. If they declare you a slave class, an Arab declares you a slave class, these people are third world backwards. You can't get anywhere in their countries if you're not of a certain class. And they resent the fact that over here, which is why they came here because they wanted to get ahead, but they resent the fact that someone who has come from slave class could achieve something. There is a resentment for that. And it's for them, it's deeply ingrained. It's never going to go away. I'm just letting people know they can't recover from this ignorance. This ignorance is dyed in the wool and it won't go away. They're just ruined. They are ruined individuals. They can't learn. They don't understand why this is happening. Another issue, whose fault is it if you sold 40 individuals for a broken umbrella or a jug of wine or a broken mirror? Whose fault is that if you thought mirrors were magic and you didn't get the wealth of your trading partner? Because I'm going to tell you like this: Africans are way more complicit than the European. The European went over to the trans-Saharan slave trade first. They don't care where they get it from, but they made sure that they got in business with them. West Africans made sure that they got all that money. So you wouldn't have even been on the radar had you not been a slave seller. Had slave selling not been going crazy on your continent, the white boy would have been, looking somewhere else. But you're selling a product that they want, so of course you're going to be in the conversation.
Well, that explains why they so quick to call us slaves. They so flippant with it, but because we've been through what we've been through, that really just falls off the backs. Like, that really don't do nothing to us. It has no effect when they be calling us, but they be thinking that they really doing something to you. You're just a slave. You be like, okay, yeah. My people enslaved your people. You're like, all right, okay, come on. Like, anything else? Can you come a little harder than that? They be really mad, but they do throw around that slave around a lot.
And they pivot like they're Olympic gymnasts. They're all over the place. First, they call you a slave, and then they beg for help, saying, my people were enslaved. Then they call you an ignorant slave, and then they write a letter to Trump saying, my people moved over to America and they made all these inventions in every sector of society. Really? How are you a slave? How am I you and you're me? These people are nuts. But then again, they're over there in Ireland telling Irish people that they don't know what Irishness means. They're trying to tell Irish people that they're Irish and the Irish need to stop talking about what it means to be Irish. So when you've got that kind of delusion and you're that insane, what can we expect?
Yep. No cap. Um, you have to history is very important, and history is very distorted in the school system, as every last one of us know. Most of us hated history. Let me make sure my phone's not acting up. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's why you hate history. It's intentional. History is the most interesting fucking subject ever, but it's taken out of context because it's so powerful. History erases the mystery. So we've been propagandized to know about Africa and how it's home, and we should go back home, roots and such, right? But what we don't know is uh, the Africans were in complete complicity with the slave trade. Yes. Let's go back to Dr. Snyder again. Because they say so much. They say, uh, quote, the slave trade not only commercialized the African economy and changed everyday life with the Africans. I added African, they said economy, but it also corrupted them. Allegedly, African kings sold their wives, who they were angry with. African parents sold children. You see, there's no allegiance. They sold their fucking children, whom they could not feed, and desperate Africans sold themselves. Barbeau told of a son who defeated his royal father's efforts to sell him by first selling his father, only to be met um, on his return home by fellow tribesmen who took his profits and sold him. Lastly, to meet the demands of the market for more slaves, traders stirred up wars amongst the tribes. Tribal kings began to look for excuses to attack. Kidnapping turned into a business. I think that these elite class of African people back in West Africa and in America now, living in our fancy neighborhoods, are descendants of these people. When I was in Accra with my gold chain and my Air Jordans and my hat, my ball cap, I tell a story of me and my wife went into a store. She had shit 10,000 CDs, 10,000 African dollars, and we didn't want to take them home. She said, "Let's just go spend these." And I walked into the store. I was about to blow them because we had a flight to catch. And we walked into a store. Before I could pull it out my fucking wallet, lady called me Akata. Akata. I'm an Akata. I didn't spend shit in her store. It's a lot of vitriol over there. Mama Jersey, what's on your mind?
How you doing, Professor? How you doing, Wani? How you doing, Nikki?
Hey,
What's on my mind is, to be honest with you, man, I'm just tired of these Africans and Caribbeans. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, I have no sympathy about what they go through in their countries anymore because when they come over here, you honestly see why their countries are in the disarray that they're in. It's sad to say, but I mean, it is what it is. It's just like you said, Africans are going to always, oh, Wani said, Africans are going to always have tribalism, and the Indians are always going to have the caste system. So, whatever they do in their countries, they're going to bring it over to the United States and make the United States into the third world countries that they flee from. It's just like we're seeing this every day. Um, I want to go to the title: Why are foreigners anti FBA reparations? They're just, we don't want Black Americans to have anything. Many foreigners are just like white supremacists. We don't want black Americans to have anything. And that's just the bottom line of it all. A couple days ago, I responded to someone's tweet because they're getting upset that we fly the American flag as black Americans. We all know that we have a certain relationship to the flag, but my people have been born and buried here for generations. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm American. Black Americans are what make America great and stand on the values that she says that she's supposed to have. It was black Americans who forced a lot, who forced that out. And it's just the most ridiculous thing to tell black Americans that we can't fly the flag when we want to. We can fly when we want to, and if we don't feel like it, we don't goddamn have to. But I'm tired of African and Caribbean immigrants trying to, what is that, pathologize Black Americans and everything that we do, and it's like we're just always under this goddamn microscope with them. And what I said to them was, to the person in the tweet, I said, you know what? I said, it seems like y'all just want us to renounce 45 million Black Americans to renounce our citizenship at this point. That's really what they want us to do. They really just want us to be stateless, homeless, a generic African with no home and anything. They tell us not to depend on a white man. But what I said to them, I said, listen, I said, well, when the U.S. doles out foreign aid, y'all should not accept foreign aid anymore at this point. Like, I would really advocate the United States government to stop sending them foreign aid at this point. Like, don't send them any foreign aid. Let them get it out the mud. Let them get it out the bootstraps. That's what these black foreigners tell us. So don't accept anything from any white country at this point. But it's just like I'm just so tired of them. And I'm gonna give you an example. I'm about to land my plane of why I'm tired of them. I don't know. If y'all seen this like post, and the post said, what can't you say in your home? And a lot of black Americans in the post said, we couldn't say fib. I asked my daughter, what can't she say in our home? And you know what my daughter responded to me? I thought she was gonna say something like lie or something like that. She said, I can't say in my home that I'm African. Like, this is what I am instilling in my child. And I was thrown off by her response a little bit. So I was like, damn, I'm real black American and I'm really enforcing this shit in my home because I am. Like, you are black American, you're gonna be proud to be black American. She stated that when she went into school and somebody called her African American, she corrected him and said, no, I am black American. Yup, at 12 years old. Like, we have to indoctrinate our children with ethnic pride, and I'm glad that I'm doing that because I'm just so tired of these foreigners. I don't want any association with them. It's sad at this point.
I talk to the kids and I do let them know. I keep it 100% honest. I just keep it real with them. I let them know what it is. You are this, this is that. They are different from you because of this. Now they are actual African Americans. You are an actual Black American. You
But
are
they
from
can't have any of our
America.
names, though. I,
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
of
disagree
course,
with
but
them using any. They need to be Nigerian Americans and stop leeching off of everybody's names.
I feel that way. But I definitely let the kids know that I'm around. I let them know. I school them. I don't spare them.
Now, when they shame us for being American, remember these, I'm going to be nice, these people have crawled over here on rafts, got on their knees, and took the oath to the United States of America. They're telling you to be ashamed of doing something they crawled on their knees to do. They're gaslighting. Also, Jamaicans are the loudest of the bunch, Jamaicans and Haitians. Jamaicans, their flag is the Scottish flag. And the Scottish people told them, just go make it some other colors. They're losers. They didn't design anything. At least we have something to do with designing and sewing the flag. We have a popular person associated with it, Grace Wisher. They don't. They don't have anything. They have no input except you little rugrats go over there and change the color of the Scottish flag. The end. They don't have anything to do with it. Those islands are all owned at some point by Europe. They don't have countries. They want to strip us of our Americanness because they're somehow some solid, uh, African nation in the Caribbean. No, they're not.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
How come I seen it? I see this a lot out here. But how come they be pretending to be super more American than you? They like try to like compete with you on how more American they are than we are. Like, why do they do that?
They're trying to get rid of us. They're telling us we're not American. It doesn't matter what they tell me because I'm not listening to
Yeah,
losers. They
I'm not
can't
believing
even
it. But I just
manage
want to
their
know,
own
why do they pretend
countries.
to be super American? They like they get overtly American.
It's very much a gaslight. They're gaslighting. They don't want you to claim your Americanness because they know they're never going to be really American. They got too many speech impediments, too many body language problems. They don't know how to groom. They have a lot of issues, and they're not going to be perceived as American. So all they can do is use some of the things that we did to ourselves with Pan Africanism, where we allowed Pan Africanists to prop their ass up in our face and tell us that we don't belong to the United States. That goes against what our ancestors said. That goes against Frederick Douglass. That goes against Harriet Tubman's thoughts on it. They never said that. And we literally had a Garvey Must Go campaign when he tried to remove us from our Americanness and from America. We are America. We are what makes America America, whether white people like it or not. If you remove us from this country, if you remove our work, our inventions, our music, you have an open field. You have a bunch of white people standing in an open field wondering who the hell they can trick into working for free for them, like we found them.
Yep. Um, a lot of vitriol. Black Americans, this is the issue. We have to focus on each other. We're not xenophobic. We just have to focus on each other because we're trying to help people who, for the most part, are not only not grateful, they in slick competition with us. It's not healthy, and we're on our last leg. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get another chance. You know, so um, Dr. Claude Anderson puts it into another context. Claude says. Um, As a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, ethnic and racial immigrants historically have been a wedge between whites and blacks, giving whites an alternative to interacting with blacks.
That's
Uh,
because they allow certain things to be said in their presence that we probably wouldn't allow.
Another thing I've,
yeah, it's
oh, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say another thing I've noticed that when all this smoke came toward the Indians, I see a whole lot of people I never see talking. Brazilians, Argentinians. Why are you being mean to the Indians? Where was all this interest when we were being attacked by Caribbeans and Africans? They were silent as the tomb. So they do know how to speak up. When something they care about gets bitten in the ass, they know how to talk. Just like when, guess who? The Arabs on the Gaza Strip started getting killed. Guess who opened up their mouth? South Africans. Oh no, that's a genocide. We have to do something about it. We've got to talk about this from our UN seat. Been having the UN seat. Did you ever talk about the treatment of Black Americans from it? Did any of the 54 countries in Africa, did any of the countries in the Caribbean or South America, since they say they're Black too, did any of them use their UN seat to talk about the treatment of Black Americans, even though they are the victims of police brutality? They're getting their asses handed to them. They got white cops going in their house, blowing their head off, but they chose to kiss the cop after the trial. You see, but they want to get on a platform like the UN. They want to file paperwork with all these international communities to defend some that would put them in the transatlantic slave trade and the trans-Saharan slave trade or any other slave trade there was in a hot minute. They don't give a shit about a South African. But that's who they choose to speak up for first. I never heard them speaking up for anybody. And they told us, oh, we don't have any control of our country. Oh, no, we can't do anything. We don't know anything. We have no power. They have power. They just choose to use it when they want to, for who they want to. And they are more aligned with Indians. They're more aligned. South Africans have Indians over there. Jamaicans have Indians over there, and they even have Chinese last names. Jamaicans have Chinese last names. So do other people in the Caribbean that have Chinese people there. That's who they want to speak up for. The minute there's anti-Asian hate, they're all over the place. That's who they identify with. They don't identify with us, and I wonder why. Because they constantly are in our business, telling us that we're them.
Do they believe that they believe we're really generic Africans?
Well, I'll put it this way. I don't know what they believe, but we're not Africans at all. We're not even the
Yes,
same race as
for sure,
Africans.
for sure. I just
But
was wondering, what do they believe about? Like, what do they think we're them?
what they believe, they can come here and become a Black American, but they don't feel that I can go to Jamaica and be a Jamaican. So right there we have a problem. Because I'm not Jamaican,
Ah,
I'm not Haitian, and I'm not Dominican. But all of those people can just jump their ass over here and all of a sudden assume my identity as though
yeah.
it's some open thing that anybody can jump in and out of.
They think we
You
stupid.
you can't jump in and out of my ethnicity. That's impossible. You have to have a lineage here. If you weren't here, if you're not a freedman, if your people weren't freed by the Emancipation Proclamation, you don't have anything to do with it. And you really don't. Even if you see an immigrant here on the census, it says origins or a country of origin, Haiti. I've seen that rarely, though, back then in the 1800s, but it states who they are. They can't get out of it. They can't ever be us. Their origin is not from here.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Anderson also says, uh, each time in history, either before or after war, when American economy was expanding and could have offered material economic benefits to blacks, a new influx of immigrants or refugees arrived to fill the void, further exile blacks from fruitful participation in the national life, according to historian Dan Lacey. So let's look at this. Some people say would y'all say that it's a possibility we're right before a war? I think a lot of people have agreed that there's America's on the cusp of a war.
Hmm.
Well, um, we're on the cusp of a conflict, and reparations are on the horizon. And here come the immigrants. What are the Black Americans getting? We need to just get just fucking ugly with them and say, man, mind your goddamn business. We need to stop trying to be so nice because this don't have shit to do with no immigrants. This is our claim. This is our business, and we need to mind our business. The rapper Juvenile said, "Get your own and mind your own." We need to tell these folk to get your own and mind your own and get out my shit. Just that simple. It's time out for Mr. Nice Guy and Mr. Nice Girl,
Yeah, I'm tired
right?
of being a good Negro. I'm tired of being so nice and understanding and trying to. Okay, I see that they don't get it. My patience has become shorter and shorter. I punched one dude because he said the N word. Like, I'm just getting tired of it. My patience is just over. I'm over it. I'm over it
What
because
was
your
his
lack of
background?
respect of everything, your lack of respect of everything. And so it makes me just like, okay, so I see that you guys just totally don't respect us. So why should I respect you? And since I don't respect you, let me show you something. Watcha!
What was his
Yep.
background, the person you punched?
He was Hispanic. And I told him, hey, can you chill out? uh can you be cool with that? He was just like, I'm gonna say what I want to say. And I was just like, okay, hey, can you just once again calm down? I'm a security guard, so I was trying to get him out of there and everything. He was somewhere he was not supposed to be. And I was still real cordial and everything. I was being really nice. I was being good. I was being a good girl. And he said it a second time. I corrected him again, and he was just like, "You're not gonna tell me what I can or cannot say." And it was then that I made up in my mind that, okay, there is no respect here. There's no respect here at all. So why should I continue to try to tell you or lecture you or get you to understand? They already know that word, if you say it, there's consequences. So, let's just handle out these consequences. And that was my quick thought process. And pata paching, and then I was with another guy, and so you know, he said some colorful words too, and so we got him out of there. Once we did that, oh, he was so nice and understanding. He climbed up that fence and he got the fuck up out of there. But why did it have to take all that? I'm tired of being good and kind.
Well, there's good and kind, and there's stupid, and there's nice. Um, let's talk something, Black Americans. Yeah, give me 1 second, because I can, like my mama used to say, I can show you better than I can tell you. My mom used to say that, for she beat the shit out of you can show them better than you can tell them. We're gonna look at a
That was
word
my thought
that
process.
um etymology. Okay, so we're gonna look at a word that we've been told our whole life, and we're gonna examine it. Got it? We're gonna look at the epistemology of the word nice. Be nice. Um, does anybody know what nice means?
No.
Nice means stupid. I'm about to prove it to you. Hold on 1 second. We gotta know the words that we use. Um, basically, nice means stupid. I'm gonna show word nice. I should have a copy of this in my what you call it. Yeah, there you go. Let me take a picture of this. I'm about to put it in the jumbotron. Stand by. Done. Okay. The epistemology of the word nice. Be nice, right? That's what they told us, right? 1 second. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought. Here we go. Bam, bam. All right. It's in the jumbotron. Stand by. All right. Look in the read silently as I read aloud, if you will, class. The word nice. Everybody see that yet? Has it uploaded yet? Y'all see it now? All right. The word nice originates from the Latin word nicius, meaning ignorant. Let me say that shit again. The word nice originates from the Latin word nicius, meaning ignorant, and originally had a negative connotation, signifying foolish or stupid. When it entered into English through Old French, over time the meaning shifted to note pleasant or agreeable. Well, words have vibrations, as some of you figured out the other day when I undid your names and looked at your destinies according to numerology, as identified by Pythagoras vis-a-vis the Egyptians. Every word has a vibration, has meaning, and the original, that's what you want. You want the original meaning. Like we said many times, like I've said many times before, English language is convoluted, um, and kind of like confusing. It's a language of warfare. And original meaning is the original meaning. That has an original vibration. So we've been told to be nice. We've been acting stupid. And guess what? We've been acting ignorant. Matter of fact, we've been walking around shit. When I was a kid back in the early 2000s, we used to brag on being stupid, man. We say, man, I don't even know, man. I don't even know, man. I'm keeping it real. I don't even know, man. It's time out for that shit, man. We need to be knowing. And how this ties into our conversation today is we need to fix our own, like my grandmom used to say, we need to sweep around our own front door before we sweep around these foreigners, because these foreigners have fucking turned on us in the worst possible way. No taxation. Tell me what you think about that. No taxation. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Come on with
How
it.
you doing? How's everybody doing? Y'all look like y'all had something going on today on a Monday. Wait a minute, that's the worst thing you could do to black people. I don't know if anybody knows, but let me tell you about the black American culture. Baby, don't run up on us on a Monday morning. You gonna have to
Uh,
wait for Tuesday to come around. You understand what I'm saying? Send the email, let me get it Tuesday morning. Anyway, here's the thing. You're absolutely correct. I wasn't raised to be nice, and I've never been, and nobody has ever said to me in my life that I was nice. In fact, I'm pretty rude if you want to know the truth about it. And, uh, and I intend to stay that way until the day I die. The reason I'm not nice is because I don't want nobody running up on me, because I'm a black woman living in America. See? And I know the dangers of that. Y'all need to stop being nice. I wasn't raised to be nice. My mother never told me to be nice. She said, be kind. Now, people have said that I have been kind to them, okay? And we just talking about our people. I'm not talking about no outside people, because, see, I was raised different than y'all. I was raised black. You have no obligation to be nice to anybody. You are black in America. You are black in America. Why would you be nice? Why? It makes no sense to me. Y'all do need to come out of that and come out of it quick, because you don't have a lot of time. Professor said something that was very profound, and this is what I came up here to say. He said, I don't know if we will get another chance. And that's true. Y'all stop being nice to everybody. Either they're an enemy of the people or they're not. It ain't no gray areas here. Either they're on our side or they're not. Ain't no gray areas here. Don't make a gray area for them. And if they're not for us, they're against us. Turn your back on them. I don't care who they are. Even if they're power, you have to fight them. Those are the worst people you could be nice to. You don't have to be kind to them either. You just have to be straightforward. I'm glad you're having this discussion, Professor and Nikki and Wadi, because this is really important for this movement and for you all's generation. Because if you don't stop being nice, you're going to look just like these other people whose killer cops have come in and shot their children dead in their face and say, oh, but I forgave them. The hell? Where is that written? Somebody tell me where it's written that if somebody shoots your child and blows their head off, you have to forgive them.
it won't be me. It won't be me taxation.
And me either. And I'm going to let that go. Go ahead, Professor, because you was cooking. You and Wani.
Yeah.
It was
Taxation. Yes, ma'am.
Go.
it's written in the white version of the Bible.
Hello.
That's where it's written. We're supposed to forgive them for everything they've done, but they are holding a grudge against us for being enslaved by them, which is weird.
I felt every word that you said, taxation. I do agree with what you're saying. And for here on out, I have been a lot more stern. I've always been blunt and direct, but now I'm more of a no nonsense. I don't like to play these stupid ass mind games that they like to play, because they steady are playing dumb and ignorant, and they're pretending as if they can't comprehend anything that you're saying. And so I no longer want to play this dumbass game that they're trying to play, because they think you are dumb. I feel you,
And then
taxation.
and the sad part about it is, the ironic part about it is, it's just the reverse. See, I
That's
was
correct.
raised to believe that they were dumb. I never thought anybody white was smarter than me. I don't give a damn what their position or power was. I never thought that. And you all should, of all the people, you all's generation and you all's age, y'all should never think that. You
Oh,
all
I
are
don't.
breaking barriers and systems. Walk into who you are. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is be yourself. Be your black self. The way I talk to you is the way I talk to white folks. I have cussed politicians out in the corner by myself, not in public, but I have laid them out and done so in Ebonics. I warn them if I don't know them. I'm going to move into Black American vernacular language. You know, that's Ebonics. I talk to them like that. I'm not going to code switch for anybody. Why? I don't have to. The other problem, the other thing, not a problem, but the other thing I want you all to understand, money ain't the problem. As long as they printing it, you have an opportunity of getting it. See, I was raised like that too. The problem is if the Department of Printing closes down. Now, if that happens, if they start messing with the money, yeah, we all got something to say. But you have just as good an opportunity as beating somebody to the money as the next person if you walk into your black self. Just be you. Just be you. That's all you have to do in life. You don't have to do nothing else but be yourself. People used to say stay black and die, but Rachel Dolezal said
I
we
was
ain't got
just
to
thinking
stay
that.
black. Okay? So I don't know what it is now, but because everything, whatever was up is down and whatever was left is right. And that's the way we're living. And y'all got to see that. The thing is twisted. They want it to be twisted and they're going to twist it some more. Never
Mm.
forget who you are. Be your black self in all things with all people, and you'll be just fine. You'll be just
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
I'm going to leave it there, Professor.
So, anyway, I was raised to be nice, and I am nice. But then I met humanity, and I had to make some adjustments. So, and I've had to make other adjustments when I learned about this immigrant issue because I was very much a Pan-Africanist in terms of who I helped with, directed charitable organizations toward different people. Of course, I favored Africa. They were the tops on the list. And then if somebody in another area needed help, like South America, the Caribbean, I would say, oh, yeah, look at this business or look at this group over here. We should pay attention to them. I've always been um, charitable to all of these people's groups. I had no idea that they felt that way, really felt that way. I saw the signs, but I couldn't understand it. Like they would say things, they would make these comments, but they would only go so far. I didn't have someone to come straight up to my face and say, "You don't have any culture," like they did my cousins. I didn't have them to say things like that, but they have said certain statements that I now look back on those statements and I realize that they were attempting to slick talk me or make some little snide comment. Um, but I've had to readjust my attitude toward them. And I've just simply put them in another category because I have people in categories of trust. It's like, okay, I see a Caribbean person, I trust them more to treat me fairly than I do an Indian person. Or I'll see an African person and I would trust them more to treat me um, in a nice manner or more like friendly or maybe um, have a camaraderie with me than I would a Chinese person. But this experience with delineation and seeing their reactions and seeing all the videos and the politicians from those backgrounds advocate against us having Black History Month, a person coming from Nigeria advocating for us to not have Black History Month, people of mostly Nigerian lineage in our schools, trying to minimize slavery because they sell slaves, so it benefits them to do everything that the white supremacist does. Pretend that slavery didn't exist, call us migrants, call us involuntary. We never migrated. We never immigrated anywhere. The African part of my lineage never immigrated here. Okay? If I take a rope, put it around your neck, and drag you across the border to Mexico, did you immigrate to Mexico or do you need to call the police? We didn't immigrate anywhere. We didn't involuntarily immigrate. We didn't voluntarily immigrate. Now, Native Americans immigrated. They're ancient immigrants, and they also immigrated as late as the 1500s. They certainly did, and their DNA shows exactly where they come from. And they might have some little, origin stories that says some aliens dropped them off here. That's not true. They literally walked over here across the Bering Strait, and their DNA shows it. They're not going to change history, but they're trying. And that may be why they keep installing these Africans in all of our academic positions, because they will rewrite history so that they don't look like the bad guys, that we disappear. You see, they want us to vanish, similar to what they're doing to Negritos. Um, and other marginalized groups around the world. They want us to vanish. They want to say that some people involuntarily immigrated here. Then the Africans want to say that that's them. So they want to say you're me, so you don't exist. It's similar to the soul food argument. You've got the Africans saying that they created soul food and everything we do is their roots. And at the same time, you have someone like Paula Dean saying, oh no, all that food those Negroes are associated with, that's Southern cooking. That's our food. Now, let me get this straight. Nigerians created white people's food in America? Is that what we're hearing? They seem to have fucking forgotten someone.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
brings us to FooFoo. No, I'm just
FooFoo.
kidding. We can keep going.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting, for how foreigners are so interested in our reparations claim. I mean, I'll be on Tariq's page and people from Europe will be on this motherfucker asking about a reparations claim. I wish that I could reach my people and just create a culture where we just fucking say what's it to you. Like we need to like shut that shit down real quick, not entertain it, and be like none of your goddamn business. Next question. Like I would love that type of culture to exist because it's none of their damn business. That's our business. That's our claim, our legal claim at tort, and you know what I'm saying? And it's just none of their business. But we've been propagandized to be so polite, so kind and nice that we got all these goddamn explanations. Well, it's time out for the explanations. When people ask about reparations, to me, what I'm gonna do is shut that shit down right away. Stacy, what are your thoughts?
Sorry, I muted. I was
It's like,
trying to bring her up because it showed, that she was trying to come up.
you good, Wani. I brought it up. What's on your mind, Stacy? Her thing may be acting up.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just coming in, and as soon as you said that, the same thing I always ask: Why are you here? And I know it's greed. I know they just want some money. They want what we get. They just, I don't even have the words to describe just the way it irks the hell out of me, because it's like, why are you in our space? This is none of your business. You have nothing to do with us. You have nothing to do with our ancestors. Get out, period.
Yep, no cap. Um, let's
Do
see.
you see Nikki on here? Oh,
Yeah,
she's
I'm bringing Nikki
refreshing.
up right now.
So, another example is we have, every time we speak about music, we have Africans saying they created our music genres, even though they don't have any. And we created the one that they have, Afrobeat. Um, and then we have white Americans claiming that they created two or more of our music genres, rock and roll and country. So let me get this straight. West Africans created white people's music in America? Have they forgotten someone?
Yep.
They got an African Chuck Berry. You didn't know?
Ani Asaru, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on with you guys?
What's up, brother?
Doing pretty good. I was watching the Matt Hoffa response, and what I noticed is this is a strategy they're using. We should be very aware when they say we need to come together. Come here, buddy. It's a attrition warfare tactic. When they say come together, that means they want to neutralize the energy. Whenever they say come together, we all need to come together. That's a neutralizing. That's not them being literal that they want us to come together. They want to downplay and direct the energy in another direction. And we should be talking about that. We shouldn't let them say, hey, we just need to come together. Because he said something. He said, yeah, we claim people have oppressed. He said, I don't want to upset nobody. So somebody that's coming from a opposite lineage is us saying that the oppressor is what we claim. It's not an exact fact. If they don't look at it as a fact, then that's an enemy. That's a direct enemy. So I just want to say that is a attrition, attrition warfare tactic to neutralize the movement of the energy, and we need to start talking about that.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
worry.
it's very similar to flat blackness too. Coming to come together, it's like we're all the same black. We're all one black. Our lineage does not matter. That's a very popular war tactic and a very good point he just made.
Oh, I think you might be right. And when they say come together, I guess now I will be able to say, when has that ever worked? You know what I'm saying? We just need
It's
to come
never
No.
worked.
together. It never works. So why do we need to come together right now? I get what you're
That's
saying.
like
It is a
saying it's a
naturalized.
melting pot. Like we're all one big melting pot. Come together.
Oh,
Hmm.
Why should we trust them anyways? Because every time, I mean, in the past, we see what the track record is. We try to be peaceful and cause a truce, and then what do? Stab us in the back every time. And nobody, no, we're not doing that.
Yep.
so basically it's a mind game. It's just a mind game that
It's
they
all a
playing.
mind game. That's why I'm on Twitter. Is to tell because that's the missing piece. That's what Black Americans are missing out. They don't know that we're being screwed in the mind, and we're being told to react physically. Neely Fuller said some funny shit years ago. This shit funny as hell. He said he said that white supremacists teach us not to be a mind. He said, "Don't be a mind, people. Thinking is up to me. I'm the one that thinks." He said, "You're a body. You, the Black American, you're a body, people. Don't think about anything. Just go bumping around and just start fighting. Just start fighting. Don't think about it. Just start fighting." But yeah, we've been propagandized out of our mind. Malcolm X said the same thing. He said, "You're out of your minds." Fire Nagy. We go to Fire Nagy, then we're going to no taxation. Then Mama Jersey.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Good afternoon to the room first. Let me say that I like what the guy just said because that kind of reminds me of what I hear all the time when they always say things like, "Well, you weren't alive then, or it didn't affect you." But then you say that, well, hey, you guys don't say that about the Israelis. You guys don't say that about the Jews. I said, well, why is it that all of a sudden now this applies only to us? The Holocaust only lasted 6 years. What you did to us lasted centuries. And so they do try to choose who can be victims, who can complain about injustices, and who cannot. You know what I mean? Like nothing Israel ever does is ever wrong, or the Jews do is ever wrong. It's always never forget. Remember, they always say that never forget. But for us, it's like, well, you should just let that go, guys. This happened so many times years ago. It's like, you got to be kidding me. You guys want to choose who gets to actually be victims in your own mind, who gets to actually get reparations in your own mind, because they got an entire country. Keep that in mind, and they get billions of dollars from the U.S. government all the time. Land my plane.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is unfortunately factual. We're gonna go to no taxation. Go ahead, no taxation.
This is just a footnote. Those billions of dollars that those people get, actually, it's the interest off the money that the government gave them. And I
Did no taxation break up, or is my thing acting a fool?
Yes, she broke up.
Okay.
Go ahead, no
Um,
taxation.
I'd like to hear what Forrest has to say.
go ahead, Forrest. While we wait on no taxation to come back.
Oh, she's down. Oh,
Forrest.
let's bring her back
Go
up.
ahead, Forrest. While we wait. Hold on. What's going on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can.
Forrest. What's on your mind?
First and foremost, I'm Nigerian, as you can hear. Um,
Okay.
I've been paying attention to the space for a few minutes, and I heard a lot of people saying, Africans are saying they want to come together with Black Americans. As a Nigerian, I think that's false. I don't know why we're going to come together. We have a lot of challenges to take care of. I mean, Black Americans have a lot to take care of back home, the crime, the family issues. There's a
What
lot for them to
crime and
take care of.
family issues?
No, no, let him. Tell him to name his issues.
You.
Tell him to name his
Hello,
issues.
where did he go?
I don't know where he went. I don't even understand why he was up here.
A
First, this
family
is
issues? You married children.
well, this is what I'm trying to tell you all. You see, you see how the focus can turn on them in a dime, and y'all don't switch it back. You got to flip the script now. Y'all don't have no new friends. Trust me when I tell you, if you want to move politically, economically in this country right now, in this day, with the incoming administration,
Hold on. Let
you
him
all
go.
don't, you cannot afford to have a conversation with anybody about anything unless they're sitting in seats of power and you're
Hi.
talking about reparations.
You're
Why
right.
are Black American women very
Stop.
And
combative and
this
scream when
man
they
Stop.
right
speak?
here
Why are they loud?
believes that
Stop.
This
Drop
is
that
why Black
this
guy.
man
American men are getting
right
mad
Drop
at
here,
white
that
because
women
we
guy.
are
this
because you
you
scream
because
like
we
this.
allow
Don't
Oh
You're
drop
very
him.
my
Stop
combative.
it.
Don't
Yeah,
drop
hold,
him.
because
Let's have this
we
Why
allow
are
them
you
to be.
screaming like that?
hold on a
let's have this
minute.
conversation. Let's
I'm
just
trying
have
to
it.
talk. He said something about family issues. This is a group of people where when infants are born, women
I
have to
didn't finish.
hide
I didn't
them.
land my plane. I didn't land my plane yet.
I'm going to take my plane off the runway, though. You're not going to talk about anything. Your women are number one in paternity fraud, global prostitution. You're going to listen to what I'm saying. We don't even have any numbers on that. Your men run around and anally rape infants. Don't make me post it. They have to hide the infants from these people, calling some season. What kind of season is this? You are number one in grinder accounts. You're number one in marrying children. You're number one in murdering family members for your religion. You better not even dream about cracking your dumbass mouth open over here. Don't even think about what a first world group of people is doing. Don't even think about it. You better worry about what you are doing. Now, get some act right. And if you don't, you can leave. Don't you ever talk about anything about my people when your people have a fucking pit of dead bodies along the roads. Don't even fucking talk about police brutality when you just shoot people for no reason. SARS. Don't even talk about anything when you got Boko Haram raping little girls, schools of little girls. Don't even talk about it. You got 400 and some scams. You are global criminals. Buhari said people don't want you in their countries because you are criminals. That was your president. So you better keep laughing on your emoji because I know all about your dirty drawers. Don't ever open or crack your mouth open to say nothing about Black Americans. You don't even have an astronaut to your name. You're a basket weaving hunter gatherer. Shut your mouth forever. Continue.
You can speak.
Yeah.
You can speak for us.
You see, what makes us civilized people are, even if I'm saying what you
You
don't like,
are a
it just
hunter gathering
can
ass.
I.
Shut. You
You
are
see,
not
why
civilized. You are not civilized. I told you to adjust your ass. Now I know it's hard, you homo erectus bitch,
you want me to say
but you're
what you
gonna
want me
do
to
it
say? And
anyway. You're gonna do it anyway.
what's wrong with this women?
You,
I'm
Can
gonna
I
ask the gentleman a
can
question.
I give my opinion? You may not like.
you ain't got no
No, not
opinion.
right now.
That's where you're confused. You don't have an opinion. Shut your mouth. Period. You don't get an opinion on my people's business. Crawling out of a goddamn hut and flapping your fucking mouth. Shut up.
Yeah, I
And you
love
be a
it.
Don't hit
I
woman
him
and
with the
love
stop
it when
screaming.
flamethrower, one. Don't
And you
kill him
be a
now.
woman and stop screaming. Be a woman.
Y'all don't need to be talking about nobody's women. Come on now.
yeah.
Your
Um
women are slinging nasty
This is why
ass
black men
all
are getting
over
married to white
Europe.
women because of this
I
your
don't
attitude.
give a
n-
You're not
damn what
feminine.
you marry.
This is
I
why the
no,
want
no,
you.
we're
NFL.
I
not.
want you. I want you
We're
to
not
marry a
married to white
white
women.
woman.
We're married to black women.
Oh
Go
We're
please,
married to
the
black
marry her.
women.
NFL
Don't
guy just
nobody want
proposed to
you.
his white girl.
Don't nobody want you, you ugly ass motherfucker. Shut
Nobody
the
wants a
fuck
woman
up.
with a man personality.
Put a
Source,
goddamn
you did
picture
this
up
the other
there.
day.
Man,
Ugly
You're
check
gonna let
ass.
me
check
speak.
this out.
You did this the other.
No, first and foremost, my mother's older than Nigeria. Do you know Nigeria was named by a white woman? And if you look in the jumbotron, I travel. I go to West Africa every year. And if you look in the jumbotron, you'll see a picture of a white Jesus who I saw all over West Africa. They worship white Jesus, and they're named by a white woman. They have an inferiority complex to us Black Americans, and I have nothing against West Africans. West Africa was one of the most, if not the most beautiful place I've ever been. But I've had more than more than my share of vitriol from Nigerians. A Nigerian, you need to fix your homeland issues before you come over here criticizing Black Americans. Secondly, if y'all looking at Jumbotron, since he's in here, the Nigerian is in here. Let's address the second part. Is FooFoo African cornbread? Well, if you look at the first picture in the Jumbotron, that's FooFoo. It's that little plastic stuff, those little balls, and they call it swallow food because you're not supposed to chew it. You're supposed to put it in your mouth and like swallow it, kind of like you vomit it in your mouth. But go ahead, Mr. Nigerian.
You guys should
Say
stop
that,
muting me. Stop muting me. Let me talk. Why are you
Professor.
guys scared? Are you
Oh,
scared
I
to
don't
hear my
shit.
like. I don't
opinion?
like this guy.
You don't
I don't like
get
this
an
guy. He's
what
really
part
rude. He
don't you
won't let the
understand?
host speak.
You
Wani,
don't get
this
an
man is
opinion.
mean.
I was speaking. I was interrupted. Can I finish my point?
No, I don't.
What
I don't want
point
to.
do you have? What point can a
Because my
hut
point doesn't
dweller,
align with yours.
Homo erectus have? What point could you possibly have coming from a shithole? What point could you have? You ain't got no point. That's why everybody wants you the hell up out of there. You are rejected. Your passports are banned. South Africa don't want you. Nobody wants you. Your own country don't want you. You don't have a position. You don't have a country. Why do you think that when the bombs fell on your head in Ukraine, Nigeria said, let's let them sit over there? Nobody wants you, ugly ass.
Dang, dang, Force. Who's next? Are we gonna
Seems
let
like
Force
in Black
talk?
American space, once your opinion
What
doesn't align with
country,
Source.
theirs,
what country on the planet wants your ugly ass up in it?
do you want to have
N-
a
What
conversation? Do you want?
country on the planet wants your ugly ass up in their country?
Stop muting me for
Name
God's sake.
one.
God of mercy.
Name one. Cause we
It
get
isn't.
we get requests. Can you come over here and show us how to play basketball? Can you show us how to tap dance? Can you show us how to do this? Can you show us modern dance? Can you open up a dance studio? Can you show us music?
Whatever
Can
I
you
say, you're gonna make
what
noise. Whatever I say,
country,
you're gonna make
what
noise.
country on the earth has requested a Nigerian?
Whatever I
Well,
say doesn't
Wani,
matter because you're gonna make noise.
That's right.
Wani, aren't Nigerians passports banned from certain
Oh,
places?
yeah, half of the world. Nobody wants you in their country, and this is why. You don't have an opinion. You need to stay under the rock you came out of for several more generations before you can even move to having an opinion. You don't get an opinion. Opinion on what?
Be a woman. Stop screaming like a
What
man. Be a woman.
accomplishments do you have,
Now
basket
you being
weaver?
fucking disrespectful, dude. You need to stop, dog.
What
Why you gonna?
He
accomplishments
did this
do
in the
you
space the
have?
Yeah,
other day. He just a distractor, y'all. He did
Is
this
she
the
Are
other
respectful
hey,
day.
to
he
me? What you mean disrespectful?
He
Is she
has a
hey, he
respectful to me?
wouldn't say this.
are
He
women
wouldn't say this shit
calculated
around me.
the moon landing? Your women weave baskets. Shut up. You're not in our position.
Man, her voice be sounding like a
You're
man.
not in a position to give
Yo,
an
stop being
opinion.
disrespectful, man.
You're
This
not
ain't the
in a
United Nations,
position
dude.
to give an opinion to somebody whose ancestors calculated the moon landing, a person whose ancestors are over there weaving a basket right now. You don't get to give an opinion on what we're doing. You're not even the same species.
I bet you he weighs 97 pounds. You
Oh
starving
boy,
half to
I
death.
weigh 210 pounds.
And you are on our platform seeking us out. Let me make you a promise. Let me make you a promise. We won't come to your platform. You can hold a platform. We won't be there. None of us. You're gonna be by yourself. You come looking for us. You
He
are concerned with
says,
us. I bet you your ass don't even live in Nigeria. You in New Jersey, ain't it?
What you
Where
mean
you
I'm in
at, man?
I'm in Nigeria. What you mean?
In
he
the
says,
No,
UK.
you ain't in no Nigeria because the service on your phone too good.
I
Your
was
black
just
ass
finna
is
say
in.
that, Professor. Goddamn.
he
Ladies
says
and
the
gentlemen, if you
200,
look at my profile,
But
shut up. You said you were 200 pounds, right?
yes,
200
ma'am.
pounds. Who did you eat?
Oh, what a goddamn. Fuck is that?
I ate
damn,
you.
boy.
Okay, you need to shut the fuck up now. One, you don't want to lower herself for you having flies on your face. Come on now, you making your people look bad by you coming in here being disrespectful, calling our women man. Like, come on now, get this clown up out of here. You representing your country bad, dude. Like, come on now, y'all motherfuckers are the only people, one of many people in the country of Africa, on the continent, that always have vitriol, not only for other Africans, but for Black Americans who actually trying to give y'all Red Cross rights or give y'all education. Why can't y'all get it out the mud besides having Chinese people hit y'all upside the head with bamboo sticks? You got Asians in your homeland marrying your people. Like, come on now. Y'all have enough problems going on in y'all countries, man.
Are
Nigeria
we
is
going to
one of
have
the
a
most.
conversation,
Can
or
you
are you
mute
going to
him?
tell me what?
Ain't can you mute him? Because I don't talk over tethers. This don't have nothing to do with you, and you shouldn't have no authorization to come on our platform or even have the audacity. You
Can
have
you
the
read the
audacity
title?
to
Can you read?
mute this, Japper, because I'm not done talking. Because I didn't interrupt you, Negro. I didn't interrupt you. You have no authorization to be telling a foundational Black American or even an African who has 2 cents to rub on their ass, let alone to make fire without a bamboo stick hitting you across your head. So the moral of the story is you need to fix your damn country besides you just getting in debt by the Chinese and letting Europeans run through your women. So you need to handle your business before you even come on any platform, let alone the United Nations overdosing off cat or heroin in your veins to be talking about what Black Americans need to do. Because your education is lackluster in your homeland. How you gonna sit up represent a country that your people fled from and they coming all over the world, let alone getting dumped in trash cans in Asia when COVID was going on? They weren't even allowing you niggas to go into hospitals to even give your women medical treatment. They was dumping you niggas in trash cans. How did it make you feel that a white woman named y'all country and still colonizing your people, and you on this damn platform have the nerve to talk to our women with so much disrespect and vitriol, but you got white dudes over there smashing your women out and hitting you niggas upside the heads with bamboo sticks at construction sites? You got Chinese people building grocery stores, and you niggas can't even go in there and buy a can of Coke. Come on now.
You see, when you watch too much CNN, this is what you get. Talking points like this is when you
You
watch
can't even
CNN
get
all
CNN
day.
in your homeland. Y'all TV connection can't even
When you
get a
watch
good
CNN all
signal.
day, you
Stop
don't know
that.
what.
Help those kids, man.
Hey,
Help those kids.
what's the news channel called in Nigeria?
Jaffa
He,
Host,
TV.
come on and
host,
come on and
host.
loon
Are you
and
going to
leave
have a
that too.
conversation with me? Or you're gonna keep muting
You
me?
can't
My
have
nigga
no
said,
It's
conversation
my
with
gone.
nigga
nobody
said,
just coming in here
hey,
We'll
my
be
nigga
back
said
disrespectful.
Jack
tomorrow
on
with two
TV.
more hours, okay? That's what it's called.
You so
Can you
damn
guys allow me to
disrespectful,
talk?
man. Don't do
Don't be
that,
scared
man.
of
But
don't be scared of me.
wait a
You
minute,
a disrespectful
Eric,
ass motherfucker, man.
Don't be
Eric,
scared. Let me
Eric.
talk.
But
Don't be
Eric,
scared of
here's
me.
the
Let me
thing.
talk.
I ain't
Eric,
scared of you. I wouldn't dare be scared of no nigga from Nigeria. I'm more scared of
Then let
niggas
me
with
talk.
machetes
Why
in
you keep
South Africa
muting
than
me?
you. Come
I'm
on
the
now.
only person here.
You have
All
no damn authorization to
everybody
put
on
no
this
fear
room
or
is
intimidation
FBA.
into nobody. Shut up. I'm
I'm
proud to
just
be a
here by
black
myself.
American.
Don't be scared.
You a
Why you keep
goddamn
muting me?
fleer. You coming from one of the most bitch-made countries in Africa, and you have the nerve to be telling somebody what they need to do? Come on now.
CNN. CNN. Too much
CNN
CNN.
these nuts, you japper. CNN these nuts. Do that.
Keep what
Get them white folks off your
keep
damn
watching
women and
CNN.
start having these
No.
Asians teach them damn kids to call themselves little black monsters. Blow up them
Keep watching
goddamn white
CNN.
Jesus statues before you come up here telling us what to do. Why y'all keep building white Jesus statues? Y'all should have somebody up there of Nigerian descent that's actually trying to get you motherfuckers on point instead of y'all just being separated by tribalism.
Get your money up
Like,
and
come on
travel.
now.
Learn to
Get your
travel.
money up, nigga. If I throw $1 worth of loose
Get your
change at you,
Get your
money
it'll be
money
the
up.
up and
most money
travel.
that you ever had in your life.
Don't
Get your
watch CNN
hairline
and come
straight.
here to
You
make
broke
noise.
Get
ass
your hairline
motherfuckers.
straight, sir.
Red Cross rice eating motherfucker.
Shit, my stomach's still fucked up from your water. What are you doing? Shitting in it?
Yes.
Oh
And
my.
drinking it
Oh.
and
Oh
bathing
my
with
God! I ain't never even
dogs.
heard you speak like that, Professor.
Uh-oh, I'm a bad influence.
No,
Hell wrong with
I,
this dude, man?
he
You a
is.
damn disgrace to your people, man. You gotta be
He came
ashamed of
in here.
yourself.
He
So you
came in
should be
here
proud of
talking to
yourself.
Wani like that.
I don't care.
So-
It's not like an actual human being said anything.
Oh my
Like you
God.
running something, man. Y'all niggas are reptiles. Y'all change y'all color in any environment y'all go to. A lot of y'all don't even try to be on point with y'all people. You got the nerve to be telling us what to do, but your kids out here starving and your people out here getting hit upside their head with bamboo sticks by Chinese people. You can't even go
Allow
to a
me
damn
talk.
barbershop.
Allow me
No,
talk.
nigga,
Let me
you don't
talk.
need to talk. You don't need to talk. You said everything you said in this damn space. You said
don't be
everything that we
don't be
already knew,
scared.
sir.
Unlike you, we actually protect our women. So you're getting all this flack because you attacked our sister Wani. So just get used to how foundational Black Americans get down. You fuck with one of our women, we gonna tag team and jump on your ass. Now you can learn your lesson because you don't do this back home. You let anybody do anything to your women and they're unprotected. Deal with it.
Anything else you say, we gonna
Can
dog
I
walk your ass
host?
and send
Can
you
I
back to your
respond?
homeland. No, nigga, you can't respond. Be quiet. Stop
So you
talking.
scared of me to respond. You don't want me to
Stop
respond.
talking, man. You don't need
No.
to
Now you're
respond.
catching on.
You
Why
scared
would we
FBA.
listen to you?
Catch this fly swatter, nigga. Catch this fly
Why would
swatter
Scared
we
in these
listen
hollow
FBA.
to
points.
nothing? Why would we listen to somebody that doesn't have any gold medals? Isn't about anything, no
Don't
inventions,
got no
begging to
bronze
get
medals. Only gold medal he got in is eating flies. That's the
got
only
kicked
gold
out
medal
of
he
the
got.
got banned from the
All this
Olympics
BS.
for
All this
cheating.
BS you keep saying
You
is
don't have
tiring, man. All
anything. You don't have anything. You don't have
If it's so
no
time, relieve.
no presents.
let me
Wait a
speak.
minute,
Don't be
All
scared
you
of me.
can
I'm just
do
one.
Professor,
is beg
Nigga,
to
Professor,
I
go
wouldn't even
to
be scared of your
college.
shadow. Come on now.
Professor,
Then allow me
Professor.
talk.
I need to say something, Professor.
Wait.
I need
Hold
to
on one
say
second. No taxation. Go ahead, Wani.
No, that's okay.
All right, no
I,
taxation. What's on your
it
mind,
ain't
baby?
gonna take me. It's not gonna take me but a second. This is for Eric. Eric, this is what I came on stage to say. Don't you please, baby, don't you ever call anybody outside of Black American a.
Did she break up or is my thing messing up?
She went out
Her
the
phone
room.
disconnected, and I'm gonna call this dude anything that I want to, cause this dude is fucking disrespectful, and he don't have no nerve to be telling somebody what to do. No offense.
Eric, did you go out?
Keep, keep
Man, I'm in Africa.
unmute yourself.
My network is better than these guys in America. Funny enough.
Man, you not in Africa. Nah, man, you on Verizon. You ain't man.
Force, where
Man, these guys
where
are in
are you
America.
right
Their
now?
network is
Man,
bad.
dude, you in
But
it. You in Atlanta.
The app is bad.
I'm not in Atlanta,
Can
please.
you see what I put in the Jumbotron yet?
I can't.
Because there's a delay.
Is it some African women, Wani?
Yes, it
One with
is.
a red thing on her head.
Hmm.
What's going on here?
They're raping infants,
Oh Lord.
and it's
Oh,
a regular
they're
cultural thing.
I don't
It's
see
part
it.
of the
Okay,
doing
cultural.
I'm gonna post what
circumcision.
Black Americans are saying about the women.
I don't care what you post. We'll never be having a culture of raping infants. We'll never be cannibals. We're never going to be doing the stuff that you do. There's no pits of bodies at the hands of Black Americans. There's nothing you can do.
Wait a minute, Wani. This is for Eric, because you missed the last word, baby. Don't call him Negro, because that's on my birth certificate. They can never be me. See, if you
Uh
called him me, you
I
understand
ain't
what I'm
call him
saying?
no Negro.
Yeah, you did. You just missed it. It was
No, I
early.
didn't. I call him a nigga, and I call him a japper. I didn't call him that.
Well, anything but that. Don't give him my stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Negro is your stuff? Damn, man, these guys are something
Bitch,
else.
you go sit your
Negro
ass
is your
down.
stuff?
Ain't nobody talking to you.
Oh my
For real?
God. Why does this thing keep talking?
You're a thing.
He
Can
said
you guys
Obama
let me
sick, so
speak?
it can't
Can
stay
you guys let me
connected.
speak,
Professor, they are
please?
mass reporting your space. I just want you to know.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's.
stop,
I think
stop,
that's
stop.
happening because I was dropped down too.
Nah, nobody's reporting
If
nothing.
you
African
put
don't
They
have
him
time for
dropped
out,
me
this.
you
down
might
too,
do
Sister
okay.
Nikki.
You do
Nobody's
have
Yeah,
reporting
time. Why
nothing.
are
Put him
you in
out.
here?
Put him
You
out.
got time.
Yeah, put him
that's
out.
Can I
probably his
talk,
ass
guys?
reporting
Let
his
me talk.
goddamn space.
Okay, can
yeah,
I
hold,
just say something?
a quick teachable moment.
Shut the fuck up.
Quick teachable moment. Check this out. I want y'all to observe something strategically. That was fun, but he's asking us, can I? Can I? May I? May I? So who's in a position of power? Is it him or us? That's where
Us.
that's where your jealousy's coming from. Black Americans, you are
Mm.
powerful. He needs you to talk.
He also needs us to go to our schools and get scholarships and
No,
then
man, this is some funny BS, though. This is some
maybe become a doctor being taught by Black American men in HBCUs. And then they run around the country. We're the only
Professor, can you let me
doctors.
speak?
You
Stop mute.
are a
I don't see
pack
his
of
account. Okay.
imbeciles.
Can I speak? Stop muting me,
Uh,
please.
uh,
Guys,
it
Nobody's
depends.
muting you.
You
Stop.
need
I'm
to,
being muted. I'm being muted. I'm not allowed to
first of
speak.
all, stop
Hey,
screaming.
that's that song. Hey
Nobody's
man, that's
muting
that
you.
song, that Tariq song. I whine, I grind for you niggas.
Nigga
Yeah.
for you
First of all,
niggas.
lower your energy, stop screaming.
Listen, I
And
have a good phone. I'm in Nigeria. I have a
okay,
good
hold
network.
on.
I'm not.
Let me give you the rules of the game. Number one,
You don't
lower
have
your
toilets
voice.
there. Anybody who ain't got no
Stop
plumbing system can't
ranting.
say shit to me.
No, they can't. You shit in the streets. We shouldn't even have you funking up the place.
Yeah.
So number one, lower your voice. Number two, whatever comes out of your dumb Homo erectus ass mouth, it better not have diddly shit to do with Black Americans, or else you're going to get your ass handed to you once again. Now, do you understand or are you stupid?
If
Say
you
what you got.
understand, give us a thumbs up.
Yeah. Do you have thumbs? Biatch, hominid ass self. Now, if
You
you
have
are my
passports?
species, prove it. Can you understand instructions? Prove you are my species. Now, say what you want to say about your ugly ass, but don't say nothing about my people, because you ain't even in the same species level.
Oh God have mercy. Some BS. Hello.
No.
Can I talk now? So
Did you
can you
hear
stop
what
doing this?
we said?
I heard the
What do you
BS you said.
Okay, so you feel it was BS, you need to leave. Because
No,
I just
can I
told you what you
can
better
I say
say.
what can I
You
say what
should,
I want to say?
no,
Oh
no,
God
you
have
can't
mercy.
say what you want to say because you're an ignorant asshole who thinks you're going to
American
come in
American
and
Black American.
wave your fucking ass Nigerian finger in my face when you got so much dirt on your name.
Oh God have mercy.
The whole globe knows your dirt. I don't know who you're
They
trying.
love
I
praying to that
can't
white
hear.
Jesus. He keeps saying, "Oh God, oh Lord." They
I
love that white
can't hear
Jesus
you,
now.
Nikki. I can't hear you, Nikki. Are you?
Put
Are
God in
you?
this.
Okay, good. Now, let's see if you can follow instructions because you're not criticizing anything about Black Americans. So say what you got to say about your group.
Okay. I think I'm being
Why
you
are you
know,
laughing?
Because what is being said here
What's
and what is being
funny?
done here is
What
funny to
is
me, though.
funny?
It's funny.
Okay,
Everything going on here is
I'm
kind of.
glad that I'm
But
glad you're
but
entertained.
of course. But first and foremost, you said I shouldn't talk about the FBA, so I'm not going to talk about the FBAs.
Yeah, you
I'm
better
gonna
not.
I'm gonna restrict to Nigeria and
You
Africa.
better. That's a good
Okay,
plan.
That's good. It's
okay,
a
but
good plan.
I'm gonna try to work with you guys. I'm gonna try. So Nigerians are great people. These people are people that are known for their exploit in the whole world. The current you say I shouldn't talk about the FBA, so I'm not talking about you guys now. I'm talking about my people. So can I be allowed to talk? Thank you.
Can you
So
tell the truth though? You're banned in all these countries, so obviously you're
can
not
I
going to
talk
be.
about my people? I'm
You're
now
a
I'm
global
oh
pack
god
of
of mercy.
shit. You're a global
I'm
pack of
talking about
shit.
my people now. Do you have a
You're lying about your people. You're lying. Can you
can
say
I
something
talk?
that's not a lie? Stop with the
Um
propaganda
can
because
I
you
can
don't,
I finish before you address me?
sir, you're in a room of people that knows a lot about your background.
So can I
So,
finish up? Can I finish
or
up?
finish lying or finish
Oh
telling
God
us.
of mercy.
Okay.
Are we gonna do this? Okay. So there's a lot of reasons why I said this. I mean, the current World Trade Organization president is a Nigerian. You can go research that up. So these are people that are educated. These are people that are very successful in what they do. That's why, according to the latest statistics, Nigerians are the most successful in.
Sir, shut the hell up. Your people are living in pure filth and shitting in the
You don't
streets.
want me to talk about my people now?
If a couple of people had money from milking all those charities that we gave your broke ass, goody for them. They're not going to let that drip down to the regular guy. So I don't give a damn about you bragging about some rich person. Oh yeah, we got Oprah Winfrey. How does that relate to anything? You know what?
This
You
is
have nothing to say. You're trying to rehabilitate a lost cause and you're getting boring.
this is like Trump going on CNN. He's gonna be.
Ah, shut up.
This is like Trump going on
Why are
CNN.
you talking about Trump? Go get your own Trump, loser.
You
Go
asked
get
me to
your
talk about my
go get
people, but
go get your own politicians, loser, leech, parasite.
Don't play the song, Professor. Okay.
but I
Turn
have a
it up,
question. I have
Professor.
a question, guys.
Why should we answer your
You
questions?
going to
Who
hell,
are you?
Professor?
I want to ask a question, please.
Uh,
Respectfully.
may I ask, may I ask why we should answer any of your questions? Who the hell are you to ask us a question? Do you know who the hell we are? Apparently you don't know who the hell we are. I know who the hell you are. You're not
Professor,
the
Oh
enough of the
my
qualified.
song. Can I ask
God.
a question?
Yeah,
He
you better
asking too
How
direct
you
it
many
to
gonna
the
tell
man.
Professor
questions.
enough of this song? How you gonna
Hey,
say enough of
professor,
something?
professor, can I ask a question?
He really is
Bitch
asking the
ass.
questions like on the song though.
Get
Professor
on
Why
your
touched
is
more
it
of the
knees.
this?
song since he told you to shut it up.
Get on your knees and ask the question. I'll let you know when you can get the fuck up.
In
Lord.
Nigeria, should get on your knees for a black American?
Damn,
You
one of your
must be funny, though.
dominatrix. Damn.
She said, "I tell you when you can get the fuck up." I said, "Oh my God,
With
yes,
you,
ma'am."
you jive, motherfucker, you.
Okay,
So,
enough of it.
Forrest, do me a favor. Let's shift gears a bit. Tell me about that real yummy Nigerian food. What type of food y'all got over there?
Oh, we got a lot of good foods,
Okay.
healthy meals. We have vegetables. You see, one thing about the
Oh, his
Nigerian food is,
accent is switching
oh,
up.
can I
No,
finish,
no.
man?
What's your favorite meal in Nigeria?
You asked me a question about our
Go,
food,
go,
right?
go,
I'm
go
answering
ahead.
you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So most of Nigerians food are mainly, vegetables. Our soups are vegetables, and these are very healthy meal. These are not your KFCs and burger you eat and you
Oh,
get unhealthy.
there your
I
dumb
know this
bitch
goofy
ass
nigga
goes
was gonna say
again.
that.
Hold up.
No, can I finish up?
Your dumb ass can't talk without throwing an insult, fucker.
What you mean an insult? I never said anything
Not the
wrong.
not the
Motherfucker, I
bushmeat now,
told your
Professor.
ass don't fucking say nothing about us because you're
We
not in a
heard that KFC
position.
line you said, sir. We don't. We heard what you said.
Well,
Do
let
you
me
guys
let
eat
me
KFC?
She
I
said,
don't. I don't
I
know.
don't even eat
hold
no
up, hold
damn
up,
KFC. I fry my own
hold up,
goddamn
hold up,
chicken.
hold up. Don't worry about what we eat. Okay? That's number one. Number two, can you produce a cookbook prior to being colonized?
Man, who's playing that music? Pause that
Your
music.
mama's playing it.
Ah, Professor, you the truth, man.
Okay, hold on. Can you, Nigerian with this long cultural roots, can you produce or direct us to a cookbook showing your actual cuisine? Because I know you chase monkeys up trees
Okay, you
before
asked me a
the
question. Can I
before the
answer your question?
before the colonists came over and told your dumb ass how to cook. You don't have any food.
Let him live, Professor. Let him live for a couple seconds.
Is this a music show or
You
something? I
don't
don't
even
understand. What's
have
going on here?
food. You don't have any food, so don't try to talk about cuisine. You don't even know what
Oh,
that
you.
word means.
No, we have a lot of food.
No,
Like
you
I
His
was.
don't.
accent
What's
is
your
Can
throwing
I?
what's
Can,
off. He can't
what's
can
keep
I?
your
up.
Can I talk?
What's your West African cuisine? Tell us what it is.
Oh, we have a lot of West African cuisine.
Do
Nigerian,
you stop? Do you have any West African cuisine prior to being colonized?
of course.
Where's the book? Prove it.
What you mean? Where's the book?
Prove it.
That's a dumb question. Where's the
Prove
book?
it.
You gotta
Prove
have the book for your
prove it.
recipes to prove that your
Prove it.
cuisine is actually authentic.
Prove it. Prove it.
I know you guys are.
He
Is
doesn't
Prove it.
understand that part.
Prove you have a
who
cuisine
keep
prior to
muting me? Let
being
me talk. Stop
colonized.
muting me for God's sake. How do we
Quit
have a
lying.
conversation like
Stop
this?
now before
I'm
I
not
have
muting
Professor
you.
play the song again.
Quit lying.
Someone keep
That's a
muting
fake
Quit
me.
lying.
accent, y'all.
Quit lying.
I'm not muting him. I don't, no, Nikki's not
He's
muting him.
faking his accent.
I'm muting you.
Yeah, nobody
So
was muting him.
no, I was. Check it out.
Okay, my bad, one. You got the whip. My bad.
Oh
Produce
God of mercy! They muted me again.
produce a cookbook to prove that you had a cuisine prior to being told to cook jollof rice, which that woman Pinda in Senegal said she was told to cook that because she was trying to cook with barley and they ran out of barley. You don't have any recipes at all. You were chasing monkeys up trees and eating
I knew you were not
caterpillars.
asking no question. You just giving a statement.
Right. You were chasing monkeys up trees and beating them in the head and eating caterpillars when the white boy rolled up on you. You don't have a cuisine, so shut up. What's next?
Not
Are you
caterpillars.
are you gonna let me speak or are you gonna
Damn,
keep
you couldn't
muting
I
even
me?
let
don't
the
know.
butterfly be free.
I don't
Shit.
know.
Stop muting me. Let me talk. It's uncivilized for you to be doing this.
Are
It makes no
you
sense.
able to talk
You keep
without?
muting me. What you mean? If I
I'm
want to
going to
say
do it
anything, you
again
mute
if
me.
you don't stop whining like a bitch. It's impossible
Oh,
for you to talk without trying to throw shade. And let me tell you something, you're not able to throw shade because you're too stupid to do it without being busted. So don't try to do it. You're not slick. You're not smarter than us. You're nothing. So if you can't talk about whatever the hell you came up here to tell us, which is nothing, you need to go because you're not going to throw shade. We have two types of cuisine that we created. You have none. So what are you talking about? You have no types of cuisine until the European told your dumb ass to make something. We developed two types of cuisine, and the white people we're around can't even cook. English people still
Burger
can't
King and
cook.
McDonald's, I guess.
What?
You still being slick with your mouth with all that venom on it. Come on now.
Yeah. And you got a thick ass tongue, and nobody can even hear the little
And don't
slick
make me
ass
play this song
insults.
for you, boy. You better calm down.
His accent is fake, bro. He sound like the Pedro
Oh,
off of
guys,
Napoleon
guys.
Dynamite.
Everybody,
Now, what do you have
listen.
to say?
Can I say something?
What do you have to say? You can't say anything without comparing your dumbass group to Black Americans.
No, why would I
You
compare?
don't even
No, we
exist.
superior.
You don't even
We
exist without
superior than you
saying,
guys. Why
But
do
it's
I
better
compare
than
with
his
you? We are
No, you
superior
not.
superior.
than you guys.
Bitch, why are you in our schools?
What do you mean?
Why are
Them
we not
Chinese
in
folks
your
superior over
schools?
you.
Why are you
Black
in our
Americans are not even
country?
in the
We're not in your
conversation.
country.
What you gonna do about them Chinese in your country, man?
In our schools
Black
talking about
Americans, just
superior.
know
You
this:
don't even
we are
have
superior than
any,
you.
you don't even have any world
What you
class
gonna do
schools.
about Mr.
You
Chain
don't even
Force?
have any HBCU equivalents. You got to come over and beg to get in ours. You are nothing but a charity case in our schools. You are a fucking charity case that we take in. Shut up and stop trying to save face.
We sure be helping they ass. They
No,
is
can
charity.
you guys share my opinion and stuff? I don't know why
You are a
I get on space
charity
with
case.
different people, even the
You
white
are a
people. They allow me
dependent.
speak.
You are a dependent.
Cause they know
Let,
you
let,
gonna ride them.
hey, let's give him 20 seconds. Go ahead, man. You got 20
All right,
seconds.
brother, I got you. My bad.
No, you good, bro. You got 20 seconds to make your point. Go ahead, and make your point, bro.
Thank you so much, Professor. My point is, personally, I think we superior than the Black Americans and the FBAs, and I give reasons for.
Bitch, didn't I tell you to stop
Oh, I'm
talking
muted
about
again.
us?
I'm muted again. I thought someone said
Well,
give me
try to
20
Bitch,
hold
seconds.
back,
I'm on
Professor.
Oh
I
mute.
don't want
God.
to play the song.
Stupid ass
This
bitch.
my favorite song. Turn this up, Professor. This my
Here we go
favorite off
again.
the
Here
album.
we go again.
Saw you had me in a trance, but when I saw your feet, I had to take a second glance. I wanna be a lover, meant for each other. But before we go further, you need some cocoa butter. Your feet are so ashy.
Ah!
Your feet are so ashy. I wanna be the one to give you. But your toes look like they've been baking in the oven. I wanna work it out. I'm not in here for nothing. Your feet look like two buttered up English muffins. Your feet look like two buttered up English muffins. Your feet are so ashy. Your feet are so That's Flex Troll on the ones and twos. Make sure you go to the Apple Store and download our brother Tariq Nasheed's album, Flex Troll. Now, let's review. He says he's superior, and yet I have yet to have one Nigerian fill out that cultural Olympics form. We have 101 HBCUs that they beg to go to. They have Zippo. We have 17 astronauts, and we calculated the moon landing. They looked up at the moon. Okay. So we have a lot of sports legends, hundreds, and tons of gold medals. They don't have any sports legends, and they barely have any medals. Maybe three. Nigerians don't have any, and they got kicked out of the Olympics for cheating. They have no cuisines, no proof that they ever had a collection of tasty dishes. They basically got told to make something by the French, and then they latched onto that jollof rice and ran with it. That's all they can lay claim to. Everything else tastes like a foot. They have zero music genres, zero. Nobody's interested in anything but Afrobeat. Wonder why? Because we made it. Because Fela Kuti came over here and hung out with James
Made
Brown, and they
Afrobeat?
wrote.
Then you on something.
No,
You on something for
James
real.
James Brown made Afrobeat, and there's a book about it. How Fela Kuti came over here and begged for a music genre and got one from James Brown. That's a fact in a book. He literally was over here on his knees, begging James Brown for music.
And you
Um,
know James Brown made them big too. With the cape
exactly.
on and all. He made
Please,
them
please,
So
twist
please.
and
there's
perm.
nothing, you don't
Made them big.
influence the beauty standard. In fact, you are known to be the ugliest people on the planet.
Can we
And
stop
so
saying all this BS and get into a
you are
conversation?
not superior in any way
All this
to
BS,
us.
like nonsense stuff.
What's the
For real.
BS? What sports legends do you have? Come up and tell us about it.
The conversation is all over the place. You're not letting me
Oh,
say nothing.
no, it's going to be
From
right
from
here. What sports legends do you
from
have?
the food to the sport. I mean, if I want to say anything, you
You
keep
never, why don't you post your cookbook
stop
prior
muting me.
to
You're
the,
still muting me.
you're still whining like a little
You're
girl.
still muting.
Check it out.
Oh
Yeah,
my
According
keep
to
God.
you
muting you.
niggas.
You still muting me.
You can
My bad, I
shut
was still
me
playing
up.
the song, my bad.
You can post a cookbook. You can put some sports legends up. You can do anything. You can put up all of your world class colleges that you've created. You can do
I
all of
know
that.
you don't like the truth, but the truth is going.
You can put your
The truth is the
astronauts up.
truth.
You can put your astronauts up. You can put your moon calculations up. You can do anything you want. I'm not stopping you from disproving what I'm saying. You're nothing but a basket weaving culture, jumping the hell up out of Africa as fast as you
You
can
see,
to get to anybody else's country so you can try to flex on them in their country. You're an imbecile. Who's next?
you see, a smart person would say,
Who's
tell
next?
me
I'm
why you
tired.
say you're superior. But you just gonna
No, you are
and
not superior in
you're
any
just gonna
way.
insult and call names and
No,
black.
you're not superior. We've already proven that. Who's next?
What
Dan.
His
Dan.
accent not even real, y'all.
I'm
Okay.
trying not to play the song. I'm gonna just be on my big boy
And Dan
behavior.
wants to come up and play. They're giving us the good African, bad African thing right
come
now.
on, Dan. What's on your
Let
mind,
let
Dan?
Dan clean up all this mess.
What? Okay. Good evening to everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year if you celebrate those. You know. Don't forget to eat your black eyed peas and whatnot. Um. Yeah. Why are foreigners anti-FBA reparations? Is fufu African bread? African cornbread. No, fufu is not African cornbread, but I would rather equate it to something that's called kenke in Ghana. It's more of a steamed cornbread and it's eaten kind of similarly. So, like, I think Black Americans would tend to eat cornbread with like collard greens. And in Ghana, for example, we would eat, um, I don't know, maybe plantain with, what is it called? Um, Cassava leaves, basically a cassava leaf stew that kind of resembles collard greens to some extent.
Ah, here
Um,
we go again.
but if I was to call something a Black American fufu or like version of fufu, it would probably be something that's not very known about, but I'll put it on the jumbotron. It's like basically potato salad eaten with gumbo. For whatever reason, it's not that popular anymore as much, but I think some people still do it.
Potato salad with gumbo?
I
Yeah,
was just about to say that. What the hell?
Where is this done?
yeah.
Where?
Oh
New
Oh my God, that
wait,
sounds
Orleans,
Never
nasty.
heard of it.
y'all.
Where is it done?
He
New
meant
Orleans
couscous or
mostly.
something.
Oh, really? You know about New Orleans foodstuffs?
I mean, I'm French speaking, so I've always had
Oh,
kind of an
Lord.
affinity with
French speaking
This man
means you
said
know all
he's
about New
French
Orleans.
speaking.
What does
I'm
that
looking
mean?
at the picture while he talking about it too.
I mean,
I might be Chinese since I eat Chinese food. Then damn.
I said I'm French speaking, so I've always had an interest for
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans. So I've always
Mm-mm.
kind of read about New Orleans
You're
since I
not
was a
doing a good
kid.
job.
All right. Um,
You're trying to
Whatever the case
relate
may be, I didn't make
blatantly.
it up.
You say
It's
sweet
something that
potatoes.
exists, and I would say it's kind of, to me, the
So let me
equivalent
get this
to
straight.
fufu.
You're okay, check it out.
Hmm.
You tried to equate plantain leaves to collard greens.
No, no, it's not
You
plantain leaves.
did.
I said
You did
cassava
say that.
leaves to colored
Oh,
greens. Yeah, I said it's
cassava
similar.
leaves.
I didn't say it's the same.
Like,
It's
what
cooked
does that have to
similar.
do with it?
What do you
Are
mean?
you relating it in any way to us cooking collard greens?
No, I'm saying that would be the equivalent in terms
Why
how
does
they're
there need to
eaten.
be an equivalent with you guys?
Yeah, they do that a lot.
The
Competition.
reason I would build kind of equivalence is that
Mhm.
in the case of my ethnic group, in particular, they have dishes that um kind of influenced dishes in the Caribbeans and also in the
Mhm.
Americas
Well,
in
I think you
general.
have it backwards. You don't influence anything anywhere.
Okay, so how
Africans do
I'm gonna
not
ask you one question.
stop a moment.
All right, I'm listening.
Africans don't influence the food. Europeans influence the food. Your colonizer came over and had an influence on the other people. You didn't influence shit. You were colonized. How did you fucking influence anything? Did you bring us some motherfucking leaves to cook? What food did you, as an African, import over here? We exported tomatoes and peanuts. We influenced your food, not the other way around. You're very confused and disoriented by Pan Africanism.
Yeah.
They gassed
I'm
you
not
up.
really Pan-Africanist like
They
that,
got
you
yeah,
know.
but Pan Africans did a lot of bad history and made up a lot of shit that we have to
So let
unravel.
me ask you
The
something.
European man went over there and colonized your ass and brought you some tomatoes and peanuts because that's what they wanted you to cook with. You don't have tomatoes. You don't have peanuts. They also came over here and influenced the use of rice.
All right.
Okay? You didn't
Wait,
influence
what?
shit.
Sorry. Can you
You
repeat that?
didn't influence anything.
Then they
No,
play
no, no. What
dumb.
did you say
I
about
don't
rice?
understand. What
His voice is
happened?
throwing me off like he been drinking a 32 ounce of purple
Okay.
lean. I'm
Let
real
me
confused.
let me give you an example.
Yeah, that's how I talk. Sorry, bro.
You had a nasty species of rice and you were using barley.
We no
And
no no no
so
no. We don't eat barley
yes,
in
yes, yes,
West
yes,
Africa. What
yes.
are you talking about?
I know. I'm trying to finish the sentence. You were eating some barley, okay?
We don't
And
eat barley in West Africa. It
oh
doesn't
my
grow there.
fucking God. Yes, it fucking does.
It doesn't.
There's a whole fucking book about it. Shush your mouth.
Maybe you're talking about
Back in
sorghum or like
making
millet.
the can I finish? Back in the day, you were making foods with barley and then you ran out of it. So this cook up in Senegal was told to make it with rice. Now you had rice, but it was a nasty species of rice. So the French imported some Indochina rice, right? And then you were told to make this jollof rice dish with that. You're being
I'm
told
not
to do things.
Senegalese. I don't know why you're
I
talking
didn't say
about
you were.
jollof.
I didn't say you were.
I
I
think it's
said,
reductive to reduce West African cuisine to jollof.
then those same French people who liked that Indochina rice also had an influence in New Orleans. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Colonists also had an influence in the islands.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your ass. You didn't influence shit.
Okay. I was going to ask you a question. In Ghana, we have a dish. It's called dokno.
Oh my.
It's pretty
I'm
simple.
going to get very angry
No, no,
because you
no.
better have a
Have some
fucking
patience.
cookbook.
Have some patience with me, real quick.
No, you're
Don't pull out
going
the
to
razor blade
freaking.
on the one. He calm down.
I
You got it.
might. I
Hey,
might.
wait,
You better
money.
have a cookbook to prove that. I don't want to hear about some little corny dish you got now.
Nah,
That doesn't mean anything. Show me proof that you had that.
take a second. I can give you sources. I can give
Okay.
you
What is the name of
books.
the dish that you're claiming this time?
There's dokno and there's
Oh,
kenke. It's the same dish. In the
okay.
Caribbeans
Spell it.
today, please give me a second. In the Caribbeans
Spell it.
today, there's multiple spellings. That's why I'm gonna get
Okay,
to
so
it.
spell the best way you
You guys
can.
can't even spell. Here
There's
we go.
multiple spellings, and that's
And
Well,
Okay,
don't
because
so
Google
spell it the
search
it's
best
neither.
way
been all
you
over
that's
the
what
can.
place.
happens when everybody speaks a different language over here.
No,
It's the Tower of
it's
Babel,
Spell
from.
it the
and that's
best
why
way
you
you
get
can.
dominated.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Spell it
So
the best way you
you're
can.
saying there's a rice dish, and therefore
No, it's not a rice
somehow
dish.
Caribbean. Okay,
It's
what
not a
kind of
rice
dish is it?
dish.
What are the ingredients?
Um,
He finna make up some shit.
it can be okay. Basically, it can be plantain.
We
It
don't.
can.
That's Caribbean shit.
What are you
What
talking
does that have
about?
to do with us?
Plantain?
We don't eat that.
Yes, and I'm.
Don't tell us what we eat.
Can you
We don't
take a
eat.
We
No,
don't
I
eat
don't
no
second?
eat
I'm
damn
that.
not. I'm not
plantains.
talking
What the hell's
What
wrong
about.
the
with you?
hell?
Hold on, Wayne. Understand what I'm saying? I'm not
Okay.
talking about
Okay.
FBA food right now. You
Mm-hmm.
said that our foods had no influence, and I'm
No,
trying
they
to
don't.
prove
They're
you.
being transported on slave ships by Europeans. You're not influencing shit.
Yeah, that
I
that
don't know how many
happened.
different
That
ways I need
happened.
to say that.
Yeah, that happened.
That's what happened.
Yes, that happened.
So, how are you influencing anything?
That's not an
Somebody
influence.
brought a
There's a
goddamn
dish
piece
that
of food
comes
from
from
your.
a certain part of it.
Hold up. Somebody brought a fucking plankton over here and therefore you're influencing something?
No,
No, they just
someone
brought some
brought a
food.
plantain.
So that means that what? Mexicans produce chocolate. Does that mean that they're responsible for confections over in Europe? No. You're trying to take credit
You're
for
you're you're
a you're
misunderstanding what I'm
trying
saying.
to you're
Oh,
trying to
now we
take
misunderstand
you're
and
trying to
now we
take
don't
credit
get
for
it.
food.
There's a whole technique of cooking it that's attached
Okay.
to it.
You
That's
haven't
what
even
I'm
uh,
told us
calling
what
it,
the
the
dish
dokno.
is. Okay. So you
That's
can't
kenke.
spell it.
he can't spell it. He
I
refused
can't
to
spell
spell
it.
it because there's
Okay,
so many
let me give
different
you all the different
spellings.
spellings of it. Is that fine?
No, you ain't giving me all. I ain't doing all that
He
work.
couldn't even give you
Right?
one. Now he want to give
Give
you
me
five
one
different ways. So
spelling.
he trying to confuse you five different ways.
It's
Come
not.
on, bro. He just horrible.
All right.
Name the
Boo,
dish,
womp
please.
womp. Hey, we need to treat this like this the Apollo for them. Womp womp. Get him out of here.
Get
Womp
the
womp.
cane
We
out
need
Bring
you to
my
here.
boy the
take your
Sand.
mess.
Bring my boy the Sandman back.
Yeah, bring that Sandman back. Start tap dancing.
Okay, Dan, spell it for us.
The Caribbean, the current Caribbean spelling of it is
Why are you
CO.
spelling a Caribbean dish? Spell the goddamn Ghanaian dish.
It's the same dish. It just
I'm
has
going to put
variations.
my foot so far up something. You're
Can
supposed to
you
be the good
can
African.
you
You guys have been
what does
you
that
guys have
even
been
mean? How am I the good
Ew,
cooperating.
this
African?
snickering. Ugh.
What'd you say?
Spell anything you want. Just spell something. You want to spell cat? CAT. Is that fun?
You see, now there's bad faith in this.
Professor crazy.
Ah,
Okay, just spell it. Spell it.
why does
Spell the
this have to
Caribbean.
be in bad
Spell the
faith?
Caribbean. Spell the Caribbean version.
Okay.
I'll play along.
Conkie. Conky. The Ghanaian spelling Kenkey.
Okay. This is a cornmeal based food item popular in the West
Mm-hmm.
Indies. Okay. In Barbados, conkies were once associated with the old British colonial celebration of Guy Fawkes Day. Okay, in St. Lucia in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, so let's go down here real quick. What are you trying to prove that you had corn?
No, I'm getting
This looks
to
like some wet, sloppy cornbread
yeah.
wrapped in a green piece of shit.
Yeah, it's basically steamed cornbread.
It basically sucks, and we don't eat
But
like that. Our
that's
cornbread
your
bread
opinion.
is
I'm saying
risen.
that's the equivalent. I'm not.
Our cornbread is risen.
Yeah, it is. Because y'all
There's no
had like
equivalent because everything. Shh,
ovens and
shh.
stuff. A lot of
You're
these
shh.
people who were making this
Settle down
were
a minute. Let me
Maroons.
continue. Let me continue. Our cornbread is risen. Every group of people on the planet makes a type of bread with grain.
Hmm.
Whatever grain is available, right?
Hmm.
Doesn't matter. It can be teff, it can be corn. Now, the Native Americans were over here making a bread. It was a flat cornbread. We, our style of cornbread, which we didn't get from anyone, we used an available grain to make a bread. Duh, like everyone else, while enslaved. But we had an ingredient to have it raise up like a more like of a cake. So this over here looks like a caveman constructed it. It's just like wet corn shoved into some green leaf. That has nothing to do. That didn't influence cornbread. So what are you talking about? We
I,
don't make
I
this.
I would like to point out that I didn't say that this influenced FBA cuisine.
Okay,
You
so
said
you're
that our
saying your
foods didn't influence
okay,
anything,
so you're
and I'm
saying that
proving
this
to you that it
conky
did.
influenced Caribbeans, right? This
Yes.
conky.
Now I can give you.
So
Hold
you
on. I can give you the
you
Ghanaian
wrap
version of.
wet. Okay, so you take corn
Mhm.
and wrap it in a wet green vegetable. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I get that you want to kind of oversimplify it and make it sound kind of dumb and
What
not
is it though?
tasty and whatnot, but
I
I
don't know
like
what
it.
it tastes like because I'm not going to eat it.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Why would I eat
Let
this
me let
over
me give you
cornbread
another
with butter
let
on
me give
top?
you another name for it. In case you don't believe that we influenced cuisines, right? Belize, right? A lot of African people who were transported to Belize were transported from Jamaica because there were Maroons who were boisterous or whatnot. And a lot of these Maroons were specifically from the Akan tribe.
Hold on. What does this have to do with why foreigners are anti FBA reparations?
It's more so about the fufu part, the
Okay.
African cornbread. I'm not anti reparations. I'm for reparations, but I can't really do anything about it because I'm not American. I've never been to America. Um, no matter how you guys talk down on me or Africans, I can't be anti Black American. You get what I'm saying? Because that doesn't really make sense. Anyways, um, yeah, I think y'all don't really want to dive deep in the history. So
Dan,
let's
Okay.
let it go.
Well,
stop it, Dan. Stop it.
What?
So,
hey,
so,
Yeah,
but yo,
don't
I got I got
but
don't
some
act
yo,
like your
facts to
don't
like
act
okay.
like
share,
your
Hey,
but
buddy didn't just come up here and diss the shit
yeah.
out of foundation Black
now
I
Americans.
I
mean
just
Don't
wanted
act
to
like that didn't
say,
it's
happen.
kind of
where did the,
understandable. Like y'all
hold on,
just
hold on. Where did the corn come from that you're saying that you influence? Where's the corn from?
it's from America. It
So
came to
you, an
Africa through trade.
African,
Yeah,
okay, so you, an African,
yeah.
that got some corn from here have influenced the Black Americans.
I didn't say Black Americans.
Then why would you use corn to convince me that you've influenced cuisine in the Americas when they already had corn?
I think you're misunderstanding something. I
I
said
am. Show me something where you have
I said that's the
you as an African
equivalent.
and it's not an equivalent. It looks like a
Okay.
tampon.
Is fufu closer to that though?
No.
Right. So that's the
Fufu is like
equivalent. That's the
Play-Doh.
Man,
We
closest
hell
would
thing.
no. That's
we
Play-Doh
would
clay.
use the fufu for Play-Doh. We wouldn't even eat that.
I,
Or we would
look,
try to cook it because it
I'm
looks like it's not
Ghanaian.
cooked.
I'm Ghanaian, and I'm not really a fan of fufu. Right? You don't
Okay.
have to like
I'm not
every
neither.
food. Like I'm sure there's Black Americans who don't like chitlins. A lot of people say they
I
don't
have
like
never even
chitlins.
had them.
It's the
Yeah,
same
we don't.
way.
I don't like those neither.
It's not very popular. It used to be because
Sure.
it was
Well,
present
that's how I feel
food.
about
And
fufu.
it was
That's how I feel about
okay, good.
fufu. I eat rice balls. Pause. I eat dokno. I eat banku, and a lot of these foods have their direct equivalents in the Caribbeans. Like to this date, there's Cubans who eat fufu de platano. There's Belizean people who eat
We're
dokno.
not Cuban. We're not Cuban though.
I know,
I'm not from
but
Belize neither.
right. But I'm talking about the diaspora, right? You said that we had no
But you didn't
influence.
but you can't prove which way the influence went. And I've proven that
I can
the
prove it. It's
influence,
Dokno.
the connection,
Listen,
okay, the
Dokno is a
connection of
Ghanaian
all of
word,
these foods is the European running across the ocean back and
and
forth,
I'm saying that
dropping
that's not
food on different
possible
people.
because the word
Okay.
itself, Dokno, is
Mm-hmm.
Ghanaian. It's from the Ghanaian language. It's from Akan,
Okay.
right? And there's documents that I have. I could share them probably where they call Dokno Negro bread. They call that Negro bread in some documents, and they actually brought it onto ships because the way it's made, it's fermented, right? So it doesn't go bad as easily. So they used to take it actually
Can
on
you
slave
spell it again?
ships.
Can you spell it again?
Sorry,
Can you spell it again?
which one?
You said Docna?
Yeah, Dokno. I can give you the different spellings because basically every country in the Caribbean has their own spelling. I can give you the Belizean one is Dukunu. The
Hey,
Ghanaian
hey, hey,
spelling.
can I cut it? Could I cut it real quick? I just wanted because I need
This
to
looks like a
speak.
tortilla.
I need to speak to
Nah, it's
Wani.
more
Wani, this
like a
is
tamale.
no, no.
Sorry.
Wani, this is Charles from Clubhouse. I don't know if you remember me. We used to be in some Clubhouse groups together, but
Vaguely.
it was a few years ago. But I
Okay.
wanted to speak to Professor Allen about this. Last night we were on Tariq's stage, and we were talking about the Appalachian thing, and I brought some clarity about the two Appalachian books. There was one by Bell Hooks and there's one by J.D. Vance, and they're both from Kentucky. And I just wanted to say that I think I sent you some messages, but I don't think it really went through because I think my page is private. I think we should read those books, or just at least go through them in like some type of way, and actually kind of deep dive into that, because I think that that is something that the white supremacists are doing right now, in trying to compare us to hillbillies, and like writing off hillbillies and then putting that kind of culture on us. I just wanted to get your idea about it.
Writing off hillbillies, I'm kind of confused.
No, well, they're not writing off, but well, there's two books, and also they made his book into a movie. They made his thing into, it was called Hillbilly Elegant Elegy Elegy, I guess. Elegy. I'm trying to get the
Mm-hmm.
pronunciation right. But Bell Hooks had written a book long before that, where she was talking about the Appalachians and whatnot. And last night we were on Tariq's stage and we were talking about that because that JW guy came in there. He was talking some mess and whatnot, and he was trying to relate the black culture to Southern culture.
They can't
And
be related. They
yeah,
did. I mean, all we have to do is look at what English people cooked. They're done. Beans on toast, stargazy pie.
yeah, 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 yeah.
They can't cook. It's a well-known fact. They won't even debate you. That's why their national dish is curry. Their national dish is curry. They can't cook. So we know who was
Yeah.
cooking
So
over
no, no,
here.
but
They
but
never could cook.
I was simply just wanted to ask the professor, like, maybe can we look at that book or those two books here, and take a look at it,
I would ask
and
you before you commit to this task, I would ask you to go on YouTube and type in the Eastern Kentucky Social Club and sit down,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you said it was a documentary that was
watch it.
out there.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it'll change, like it'll show you how futile a task this is. Because it's very thorough, maybe 4 hours, it's long. And it
yeah.
shows.
It may be futile because maybe I just want to go like the literary way, and I've been looking at this stuff.
And
I
It's
haven't
kind of
I'm
read.
not
like that.
dissing you. I'm just telling you, you probably don't want to waste your time going down this route because the thing that dude said, what was his name, JW or something?
JW,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
JW
proved in
something.
another room that he's actually just trying to waste our time, and he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So what I'm saying is, if you watch that documentary, it'll show you. You don't even have to watch. You can fast forward through it. It'll show you how Black Americans and the quote unquote
No, no, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm gonna watch it
hillbilly
tonight.
class never. Maybe sex went on a little bit, but it was there. It was interest making sure that they didn't come together as a similar culture. Matter of fact, at certain times they tried to form camaraderies, and I think the leadership class, the elite class of the hillbillies, wouldn't let that shit happen. They had a separate like grocery store protocol for black people. It was very thorough.
Hmm.
It goes back to what John Henry Clark said about America, about blacks in America. Dr. Clark said we were never provided with the illusion of inclusion. We were never, like in the Caribbean, you got a lot of confused people thinking that they English,
Hmm.
a lot of Jamaicans.
And he also said that we have no
No, we
friends.
have none. But in
Yeah.
Jamaica, you got a lot of Jamaicans thinking that they're English. But we never were. Black Americans were never under the impression that we were white because they made sure that we knew who we are. So that documentary will show you that, and even in the mountains of Kentucky, which is about as hillbilly as it gets, The white power structure did not let the poor whites and the poor blacks come together, although they very much tried to.
Now, I wanted to speak about Dan's this dish he gave me. It's called Duckano. It's a Caribbean dish. It originated
That
in
sound nasty, Waddy.
it
That sounds nasty
originated in
already.
Damn,
Mesoamerica. So it it's not from Africa. So here we go again with you guys thinking that you've influenced something, and it's really a
it actually
Mesoamerican
is.
dish
So what happened
that
is,
was
can
okay.
I
Explain
explain?
how old are these Caribbean people?
So you
Okay, go
know,
ahead.
Mexicans have like tamales. So basically,
oh
what
boy.
Yes, they
happened
do.
is some Africans mixed with um Native Americans a lot. Like that happened a lot more, I think, around Central America, Belize, and also South America, right? Because of maroons. And there was a fusion. So basically, in I think Belize to date, they call it tamalitos sometimes, right? So that's the reason. But
What does this have to do with us? We don't eat tamales unless
right,
we eat
I didn't
Mexican
say
food.
that it had anything to do with you. I said
Okay, why are we talking about
So
it?
West
Why you
they're
bring
African
up Mexicans
tamales
then?
without
cuisine.
the breading. They're tamales without the breading.
Now
That's
we're
what you're saying.
Mexicans.
No, I'm saying. I mean, she was saying that West African cuisine had no influence, and I was basically just proving
No, you
her
don't have a
otherwise.
cuisine. First, you have to prove. Let me tell you how the game goes. First, you need to provide a cookbook of what you were
One,
cooking.
that's you know what you're doing when you ask for that. You know what you're
First, you
doing
have
when
to
you ask for
provide a
that.
cookbook.
That's a bit
Well, why is it
disingenuous.
that enslaved people
That ain't
published a
disingenuous. She ain't
cookbook?
said nothing wrong about that.
No, I'm saying
Let
it's
me
He's
just
saying,
hold
disingenuous
let's
on.
not
because she
have any
knows that we
paperwork.
didn't
Hold
write
on, hold on,
anything.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Why is it that enslaved
Hmm.
people were able to make a cookbook in 1848, but you people cannot?
Am I supposed
What
to
is the
answer, or is
problem?
that like
I It's
a
a smart
rhetorical
ass
question?
statement.
All right.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
smart ass statement.
I will say the theorize is that the reason why we had a cookbook is that because we had to derive foods out of slop and mess that was left behind. And I was even showing my brother something yesterday, and he couldn't believe it about like why black people even like well done steaks. Is that because we had to cook our food so heavy just to get
Well, no, we didn't have slop as you
We don't
described.
like
We had some
black
pork.
people
Can
generally
I
don't like
talk?
blood.
Shh.
well, no, no.
Hold
What I'm
on.
saying is that
We
like
had to cook for the big house. So number one, we know how to cook quality food. We were
yeah.
given slave rations. One of those rations was intestines. That's peasant food. That's how we got it. It's named
Hmm.
by Germans, and it is a peasant, European peasant food that we took and made taste good because their food does not taste like that. So back to what I was saying, if we can create a cookbook back in 1848 and another one in 1866, and maybe some in between that, and one in 1881, why is it that you can't produce a cookbook or some record of what Africans were actually eating prior to being colonized? Because every time you give me something, you don't have any roots, is what I'm trying to tell you. Everything you're talking about is influenced by someone else, and you're trying to say that you're influencing something, but you're influenced. You don't have anything to offer. You don't have any roots.
Morning.
You are a disrooted nomadic person that came from East Africa. Okay. Even the one glimmer of civilization you have in Nigeria, which
I'm
is
not
the Nox,
Nigerian.
I didn't say you were, which was the Nox civilization, that was still from the East and the North. So you don't have anything there to tell us you're influencing something because you don't have anything to influence with, and you were quickly influenced by others. Everything that you can glom onto that's great is Arabized. It's Europeanized. It's colonized. You can't regurgitate stuff back to us and get mad at us. We created Afrobeat, gave it away because we didn't really like it, and now you're trying to regurgitate it back to us and tell us it's hot stuff. And mad because we don't go for it.
Are you talking to me or you're talking generally about like West Africans?
Both. You didn't influence anything.
Because you're
The
talking
things
about
that
North,
the
like,
things that you
wait,
are
you're talking
pointing
about
out.
northern Nigeria, like you're
No, no,
sure
no.
that I'm not of that
What
Continue to
she's
play
heritage.
saying
dumb.
is that you never had like an ethnogenesis, and you never came up with anything for yourself.
Wait, what?
And like descendants of
What do you mean? I
slaves
never
here
had an
in
ethnogenesis.
America actually had to have like an ethnogenesis and came up with everything for ourselves right here. We had to like just piece stuff together, and you just created everything.
From the ground up.
Yeah.
I can't see who was just
And we
speaking. I would like
know,
to respond to that because
okay, and we know who did what. Because, like I said, if European people were over here busting in pots, I mean, if we were colonized by Italians, then we would be really in a quagmire because it'd be like, wait a minute, these people could actually cook. Of course, they were influenced by North
only
Africa, but
cuisine is all over the
we were
place.
on English
There's French
plantations.
influence in Black American cuisine.
Shh. We
There's
were on
Spanish
Will
influence in
you
it.
stop mumbling? Now you're starting to get on my
Dang, this
nerves.
nigga babbling shit. Be
We were
quiet.
on English plantations, right? So we know who can cook, not them. We know who can cook. Okay. Now, the French did influence Louisiana. They had a whole little enclave going on there. But we're not French. Rice is a side dish, it's not a main dish, it's not the basis of all the soul food. We can just as easily have macaroni and cheese, potato salad, mashed potatoes, biscuits, cornbread. We have all kind of starches to run through before we get to rice. But rice is a staple there. It's the main thing. We're not, it's a completely different cuisine. Creole, Louisiana Creole Cajun food is not soul food. It's a part of our cuisine, but it's its own cuisine. It is its own food. It's not the same food. Two separate cuisines from one people.
Facts.
So we have two cuisines and you have no cuisines. What's next? Your cuisine is manufactured much like other people who don't have good cuisine. It is not like East Africa. East Africa, you can see where their cuisines came from. You can see the Arab influence, the Persian influence. You can see the different Africans over there that contributed, and they came up with all of the food that you know, the injera bread and all the rest of it. They have a whole lot of things going on over there. You don't. You have manufactured this as a cuisine after colonization. What's next? If you say you have a cuisine, do you know what a cuisine is? It's like a collection of really tasty dishes, and you, West African, don't have that or proof of it. And you're trying to glom on, you've got some chef over here, some Nigerian guy talking about Nigeria is the roots of a Black American soul food. No, because you don't have a cuisine. You got to have a cuisine to claim the roots of it, just like you've got to have a recording of something to claim the that you created a music genre.
Preach.
Unlike these Latin Americans running around talking about they created hip hop. Where's the recording? You created rap. Where's the recording? Where's the recording of you creating it before us? Jamaican, where's the recording? Where's a recording of you creating hip hop or rap or break dancing? Show me a recording. Show it.
That's interesting, Wani. That's almost like proximal proximity to white supremacy, like the diasporic our diasporic melanated cousins are doing. I'm white and I say so. It's like, prove it to me.
Yeah.
Nope, can't. It's just I said so. Do you see this with West Africans particularly? No, 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 it is, it is. No, 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 it is. No, 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 just no, trust me, it is. It's like, no, 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 no. Show us where. No, 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 just trust me, it is. Well, when I went to West Africa, I learned that we know way much more about our history than they do, and that is the key. They don't know their history. They were more colonized than we were, and that's the key.
Now, back to what I was saying, West Africans do not have any kind of collection of recipes that they can show that they were doing prior to being colonized. We know that you eat bush meat now. We know that you eat grubs and all kinds of stuff that we don't want to talk about right now. We know you do that. So show us this cuisine you had, and then we can move along because you just saying it and it's written somewhere, and you're telling me tamale recipes, and the Mesoamericans are claiming that you can't show a direct influence where you have made us cook something. You can show similar foods that were shared between Europeans that were on the coast of Africa and that were in the Caribbean and here in North America. You can show that, but that's just them bringing different foods, just like the peanuts and the tomatoes were brought to you so you could make jollof rice and put peanut butter in everything. Use peanut butter bases in all your food. Where did you get that from? You didn't even have peanuts. So your whole whatever you're making with peanuts right now and tomatoes, your tomato based jollof, all of that stuff was made by me. If you're going to claim a food and try to put a footprint on it, your food was made by the Americas. Because that's what you do. You put peanuts in everything and you put tomato sauce on things. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, uh-oh.
We use the foods that were here in this land that we were enslaved on. Okay. We used it and we made those foods just like everybody else in the world. Nobody owns corn. Nobody owns tomatoes, but we took those pieces of food, whether we were told to grow collard greens because it was a hardy green, we were told to grow certain foods, and that would save money for the slave owner because they would have to pay less rations. So we were encouraged to grow certain things for ourselves. And everything that we were told to grow was hardy and easy to grow. Okay? So a lot of our foods are from hardy vegetables. We created those things here, just like everybody else. We don't owe anybody anything. We took the foods and we made them in our own special way, just like Mexicans make sauces in their own way, just like you're making jollof rice because that Pinda woman was told to make it. Okay? We're making food with what was here. We don't owe Africans anything. We don't owe anybody anything. You don't own us. It's over. Yes, Dan. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the room was muted. Look, I hear everything that you're saying. I think there's a misunderstanding, like a fundamental one. I respect the different cultures, right? I respect the Caribbean cultures a lot. I respect Black American culture a lot. I respect soul food. That's its own thing. And it made its own inventions and innovations and whatnot. What I'm saying is culture is something that's diffused. Sometimes there's people in the world that are not um, connected on the surface, but have a lot of similarities culturally because of maybe their past, something that maybe there was some kind of interaction or whatnot. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Let me
The
okay.
document that
So
you
let me ask you.
hold on.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Okay.
If
Quit that Pan African shit. That
a particular just think about this. If a particular African group
Mm-hmm.
went around and grabbed up people that were enemies, people that they hated, people from other tribes,
Uh-huh.
and threw them on a slave ship,
Uh-huh.
why would we share the same food?
I mean,
You mean we were cooking together and having a good time, and we were also enemies that you wanted to put on a slave ship?
I think
You
that's
act like we
also,
were cooking and shopping together,
yeah, I think
having a good
that's,
time, and then we
I
just
can explain it.
continuously just brought over the cookbooks and all the groceries with us on the slave ship. These things don't make
you
sense.
literally
I can
sent
explain it to you.
you sent us to another place.
Okay,
Like
can I
in
respond to that real quick?
another place
All
to
right, let me
actually
land.
have a whole new ethno genocide. And also, I was going to say this:
No Genesis.
if it all kind of like translates,
You
then
know what he meant.
why was I
Who is
living in
speaking?
Brooklyn? My name is
Earthlings.
Earthling speaking.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is, I'm saying like if I've been living in Brooklyn and Bed Stuy for the last 5 years, and I've gone to all kind of soul food places. Ain't nobody serving no jollof rice.
That's not what I'm
I
saying
gotta
though.
go to an African spot to get jollof rice.
And that's right. That makes sense.
And now I'm here back in Atlanta, my hometown, and nobody's serving jollof rice. So what's going on?
Let me ask him a quick question. Dan, do you feel that jollof rice is the reason that we have rice dishes in Louisiana and that Caribbeans eat rice with every meal?
No. No. I think that that's what you think
That's
that
a
I
start.
think, and I
That's a
think that that's why
start.
you
That's the
mentioned
right
jollof rice
answer.
as much. Jollof rice is not the only rice dish that existed. Like you mentioned earlier on, West Africa has its own species of rice that's
Yeah, but that's
completely
the only thing
different
that
from.
like you
Can I
Nigerians
finish
and
what I'm
you
saying?
Ghanaians talk about.
Can
Y'all
I
always
finish
talk
what I'm
about that.
saying?
Y'all have jollof rice
But you
Jollof,
wars.
jollof
jollof
rice
rice
Like
spread
wars for crying out loud. Okay.
Jollof rice spread to Ghana and Nigeria during the colonial period.
And Louisiana, huh? Okay,
A lot
good.
of people were going to school in Sierra Leone and Gambia to go to colonial schools. And that's what was happening during the colonial period. And that's how some dishes also spread in West Africa. I think jollof rice is the main one, to be honest. Nobody in Ivory Coast is cooking jollof rice, and yet it's very close to Ghana. Um, People in Togo and Benin are not cooking jollof rice. They're not claiming it like that. But Ghana and Nigeria are. Why is that? There's two countries between them.
I
Why
don't
is
know.
that?
I don't
It's
know.
because it spread during the colonial period. But that's not the dishes that I'm talking about, though. There's other
What
dishes.
dishes are you
Hold on.
talking about then? What
You
the
named a dish that looks like wet cornbread that doesn't look like any cornbread that everybody's grandmother would take that and flush it down the toilet.
Sure,
It
FooFoo.
would go right into the pig pen. It would go right into the pig pen. Trust me, it would be food for the chickens.
sure.
There's
I
Well,
don't think my
there's
dog.
ladies
I
no
don't think my
That's
way.
your
mom's dog would eat
opinion
that.
because it's not, it's not our
ladies and
culture.
gentlemen, if y'all never had FooFoo, and I'm just telling the truth, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's culture. I'm just telling the truth as I experienced it. If you look in the jumbotron, I have FooFoo. That's was my plate in off the coast of Accra in Ghana, and I couldn't finish it. It
Nah,
tasted like mashed potatoes with no salt.
yeah,
Mhm.
no. I would never touch fufu with like because
Professor, you chewed it, didn't you?
no. It looks like chicken and dumplings. I don't even touch that with my with a
I
10 foot
like
pole.
Professor,
dumplings and such.
But like I don't like dumplings. I don't like the texture of it, and so I would just
who's
you
talking?
know this is Earthling talking.
Right on. All right.
Yeah,
Black Truth and Geraldine and Scorpio been in Scipio's been in there for a minute. So let's go to Black Truth, then we're gonna go to Geraldine. Go ahead, Black Truth.
Thank you. Salute Professor Allen. Salute Sister Nikki, Sister Wani, Brother EJ, everyone else in the room. Can you all hear me? Because I'm
I can hear
driving
you.
right now.
We get you,
Okay.
Yes.
brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, just wanted to add some of the receipts. Some of you may have seen them in the Jumbotron when you all were talking about the passports for Nigeria. They are one of the least desirable in the entire world. As they rank as one of the lowest. And then also I posted some receipts about different African and Caribbean organizations who have consistently taken resources linked to our slavery or used our energy for reparations for specific claims for their people. So when the question of the room is why are foreigners anti-FBA reparations, that's because they're extraordinarily jealous and selfish and desire to have a claim like we actually have here in the USA. And we've all stated this. We want you all to, for anyone who is non FBA, we want you to go and holler at whoever it is, France, Germany, whoever had you in captivity. Go do that as a separate claim. I mean, it's not too much to ask, but they're so tied up with vitriol for us that they refuse to leave our claim alone and want to get involved. And also, I have tried FooFoo in the past. Someone managed to convince me to try it, and I can tell you it's one of the most disgusting dishes ever. I took one bite and I threw out everything else. It's essentially boiled dough, like half
That's a
like
good
like
description.
half boiled dough. It's absolutely disgusting. But anyway, I just wanted to leave that in all lands.
That
That's a
fufu.
good description.
Let me ask real quick. That fufu, I never
Thank
tasted
you.
that fufu because it just doesn't look like something I want to taste. Is it seasoned there at all? It looks like they use it to,
Nope.
to help with
Mine,
It's
anything
mine
it's
too.
wasn't seasoned.
it's purposefully not seasoned because they're assuming that you're gonna eat it with like a meat dish that has all the seasoning. So you're supposed to like sop it, sop it up with all the ingredients or spices that are in the main
I can do
dish.
that with
So
some
it's
biscuits.
purposefully plain. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. Do not try it, family.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, huh, Eric?
Yeah, thank you, brother Black Truth. You done saved me from going to the bathroom for about 35, 45 minutes. I'm straight, brother.
Brother
Oh
EJ,
Lord.
you got me with that Capri Sun comment. I was still laughing about that years later, or sorry,
Oh, my
days
bad.
later.
Thank you.
I was laughing about the
Hey,
Capri Sun pocketbook. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious.
I'm trip I'm tripping out at I asked dude what news channel they got in Nigeria. My nigga talking about Jackal TV. Go ahead, Gerald.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm from New Orleans and I just wanted to comment about what the last guy said. He said something about like I don't know if he was implying that our dishes come from like are inspired by West Africa. I get that a lot. I was dating an African guy, and he would say like we eat things like, jambalaya and stuff like that, and like it's completely different. And one of the things I wanted to point out was that when we cook, we actually try to make our food look appealing. So I noticed that with a lot of the African, the food that they cook, like regardless of how it tastes, it's not appealing. So the food doesn't look, I'm not saying that it, and I guess it's like disrespectful when we say things like that. And then sometimes the smell, like it's complete. I don't know what they cook with, what spices they use, but it's completely different. And I'm not trying to be
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, and to support Sister Geraldine, if you look at the picture of my meal that I got in Ghana, my
The
main
second
course is
one
a
looks
fish.
normal.
Well, the one with the fish, look at his mouth, man.
I'm not
Like,
gonna have
like
you get a mouth, but
Mm.
I mean, you have to take
and
some.
hey, he's the fish smiling,
Is he
man. There was
eating
a
you
lady
or
at
was
my
you
The
eating
fish looking
him?
at you like, is you gonna eat me or not?
Yeah. No.
it was a
Okay.
lady, old lady at my table, man, and she was like, you're gonna have to cut this fish head off. I don't eat fish with
Mm,
eyes.
so
Facts.
crude.
Like,
Mm.
I don't want my food looking back up at me.
Let me ask Geraldine a question. Are you still dating this African man?
We had issues. He wanted to Africanize me. That's what he said. He
So, could you make up with him for 15 minutes and tell him this stuff? How did an African influence a rice dish when, like I said before, there this chef over in Senegal named Pinda Mabai
mm,
was cooking with barley. And like I said before, and I don't think Africans can hear things, that grain ran out and they were told to make it with rice. And the French colonists wanted it made with rice and imported an Asian species of rice because their species was not good. They also imported peanuts and tomatoes. No, so tomato-based jollof is influenced by French people.
mm.
Okay, not African people, French people. French people have an influence in Louisiana cooking,
Yeah.
but it's a Black American uh, cuisine because Black Americans have French ancestry. Okay,
Right. Right. Yeah.
and that food, that Louisiana Creole Cajun food, is not like French food.
Mm,
It's very similar to, I mean, it's specifically their food. It doesn't, if you go to a French restaurant, you're not going to get Louisiana Creole Cajun food.
right. Right.
Okay? They created their own food. I don't know why people keep trying to attach to it. Well, I do know why, because they don't have any food. Okay, Dan, you have a pushback on this?
No, I think she was addressing me, so I just wanted to reply to
Oh, okay. You trying to hit on her now?
her. You already know me.
Who
Nah,
making
nah,
who
nah.
making cricket sounds?
Matchmaking.
Nah, nah. Let me be respectful. I understand what she's saying. Look, I'm Ghanaian, right? I'm not a fan of every Ghanaian food, right? It's not every Ghanaian food that I enjoy. I also completely agree with her in on the point of presentation. I feel like some foods, no matter how nice they actually taste, how they are presented is just not appealing, and I feel like that's something that needs to be worked on. And I feel like it's something that chefs are actually doing on the continent, but they kind of have this elitist mentality about it. Like if it's presentable, then it should be out of price or something. Or the least presentable it is, the more traditional it is. And I feel like that's kind of regressive as a mentality. So that's where I agree with her. Where I disagree is, look, there's French influence um in Black American cuisine. We
They
we we we
are
all agree with,
French.
on that.
They are French.
Wait. I don't think that's even like
They
accurate
are
or anything.
French.
Yeah,
Wait,
we
wait,
do
wait, wait,
have the
wait.
background. Yeah,
They're
you
French.
can't that the number one, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the
Okay,
number one problem that I have with a lot of, I stay in Minnesota now, so I'm in an area now predominantly it's more Africans. Um,
okay.
than anybody. So the problem that I do have is that a lot of times when we're speaking to you guys like to tell us more about our culture than us. And like I had a conversation with one of my coworkers, and I'm
Mm-hmm,
like, you can't tell me about Black Americans because I lived this life for 31 years. I've been a Black American all my life. This is not
mm-hmm,
something that I saw on TV or what. This is who I was born. My grandmother, and my grandmother, she's 76, and she speaks Louisiana Creole, and it's
Hmm.
different from Haitian Creole. My mom doesn't speak it because at one point they looked down upon us when
Yeah.
we, when people spoke that language. So yes, they do have French. The guy that I was dating, he was from Cameroon, and
Okay, so you spoke French.
he was so amazed that I, as a black woman, but I had a Creole grandmother who speak, she, when we say Creole, she's mixed with a bunch of different races. So she doesn't, even though her husband, my grandfather, is, you know, he's very,
Dark
a dark
skin.
skinned man,
Yeah.
yeah, but she's a Creole woman. She consider herself, she's proud to be black, of course, number one thing. But you guys can't tell us about our culture. This is our culture. You can't. Yeah, a lot of us are mixed with. If you see me, I'm a brown skinned woman, but a
Hmm.
lot of, even when I wear my natural hair to work, how what type of curl pattern you have? It's we come. We're not. It's not a one size fit all. Like a lot of us are mixed with different things. Although I am always black. Before I don't.
That's what black is, though. That's why we're
Yeah.
confused. Black
Hmm.
means that we have these Creole backgrounds, and we have these Native American backgrounds, and we have these English backgrounds. That's what black is. Before that, it was colored. What does colored mean? Colored means a mixed individual, just like it means over in South Africa. Black means black is it's an extension of the word colored. But we like the word black because it was in opposition to white. We just chose that word. We are a mixed group of people. We don't claim that normally, but we have to do that in order to do this lineage work. We have to do that in order to delineate, because these people will just sit up here and see a light skinned black person go, "Oh, you have a white mom. Everybody's African." No, that's not what happened here. It's an ethnogenesis on everybody. So it doesn't matter what complexion you are. We're all mixed to some degree.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that because I get so tired of people asking me which one of my parents is white. I'm like, neither. I just happen to be light skinned, period.
Hmm. Um, Let me just reply to Geraldine real quick, and then I'll just keep quiet for a while. Um, I
Mikhail, do you want to come up and
I
speak,
really
Mikhail?
understand everything that she just said. I agree to it as well. I guess that's just my thought canon. Like the reason why I think people or Africans who come to America act that way is there's so much media surrounding American history and culture that people always feel like they know more than they actually do. So I feel like people need to do better in that sense. And it's a bit, I guess, intrusive because you feel like they're kind of telling you what you are because they watched you through a window or through a book or through TV or whatnot and feel like they know better than you do. But I think Black American history is like more complex than people like to make it seem. So yeah, I actually understand what you're saying. But I also feel like it goes both ways. Like, um, although I'm fully like African, I'm not fully from Ghana if I do like a DNA test or whatever. Like, um, my mother claims to be from a certain tribe, my father claims to be from a certain tribe, but if we go back a few generations, there's a whole lot of mixing going on. So I think it's very complicated. Like there's even people who are migrating from Jamaica to Ghana, from Brazil.
Well,
I have some of these
before we
people in
get
my
off,
genealogy.
before we get lose context, Geraldine said something very powerful.
Mm.
She implied that there's a seemingly a sense of ownership that Africans act as foundational Black Americans, i.e., you are this. Wani, you're African. Nikki, you're African. So where does that sense of ownership comes from? Well, if you go to page 5 of Slavery in America by Dr. Mr. and Mrs. doctors plural Snyder, they say, quote, the slaves are brought by black traders at fairs, which are held for that purpose at a distance upwards for 200 miles at sea, blah, blah, blah. Free Africans as a group by no means objected to slavery. Enslavement did not offend their moral sense. As far as the record shows, through nobody wanted to be enslaved, only a few Africans protested against the slave trade. So what I'm saying is slavery was big business in Africa, baby. Sure was. And Africans were selling our ancestors, those of us who do have lineage back to Africa, they were selling us. We were property. And I think a lot of the leadership class in West Africa still had that attitude. They view me as property. Oh, hell yeah, I sold you. Oh, Wani, I sold you. Wani, come here. Pay property. Come here. You're African because I sold you.
We sold you a
And we're telling you
cactus.
no. Hell yeah, a real talk. That's the attitude I experienced in West Africa. There's a whole elite class, and even Dan said there's elitism. Elitism. He's from Ghana. He know what the hell exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Dan, what part of Ghana your family from?
Um, I'm kind of all over the place. So like my mother is Ashanti and Ekuapem. My father is
Okay,
Fanti and Ga. So he's more from the
Ga. Okay,
coastal
so
areas. So I have
co-
the Brazilian slaves on that side as well.
well, be real, Dan. In Osu and Accra,
Hmm.
isn't there a culture of elite Ghanaians that have servants and shit? Be real.
It's not servants, it's called house helps. And yeah, there is a culture of that.
They
And
indentured
I
servants.
can tell you the story, like the history of it. Like
They got black
some time ago,
butlers.
hold on. Some time ago, I actually did my genealogy, right? I tried looking for things on my father's side because he was from the coastal area, so I figured I would be able to find some things there. And it turns out that I have like a whole line of on his side that were domestic slaves in the dungeons.
Okay, can you show me where the website is where you looked this up?
It's not a website, it's a book. It's a
I thought
PDF.
so.
I
No,
can
Twenty-three and
send
so
it
me.
to you through
send me
this.
the book. Send me the book. Send me the
Oh,
book.
so he
I want to
I'll
see a
something
send it in
book.
your
happened to
DM.
him
I
too.
want to see
I'll
a
send
Oh
it
book.
in your DM.
dang. Oh,
Can you send me a book
Hmm.
that says that a Ghanaian person is related to an American person over here?
Do you know Paul Coffey?
who?
Paul Coffey.
You. I'm speaking about individuals like you.
Do you
Show
know the
me how
Kwanda?
you
Okay,
are.
do you know the Kwanda family?
Because literally, where are you getting the records from?
What are you talking
Which
about? I'm not
country?
talking
Which
about
country?
specifically North
Which
America.
country
I'm
has
not.
records? Which country has records over there since you guys were all made in the 60s? How do you have these long genealogy records?
I think what you're getting confused is that
Now
our
we've
countries
benefit.
got
Okay.
independence in the 60s, but it doesn't mean that
True.
they weren't colonies before then.
It doesn't mean that you didn't have a Department of Vital Records, which you didn't.
No, they didn't really
You
record
okay, you
genealogies and
didn't have
stuff
a
like that.
you didn't have a Department of Vital Records that was taken over by colonists and then restored when you became countries, correct?
Well, shit. Help me understand. If you didn't have a department, if you didn't have some type of institution, gaining statistics and vital records, how do you know your records?
Because it was actually done by a genealogist, the one that I'm talking about
Where is it?
specifically.
Where is it?
True.
Where is it stored?
What do you mean?
Up his butt.
Wait, some of this stuff, right? It's from records from the Royal African Company. They were
You don't hit it with the
occupying.
feature one. He thumb up your butt.
Hold on.
Royal African country. Okay.
They were occupying the castles, the
What
dungeons.
year? What year?
My thing.
The dungeons where you held human beings and sold them.
Um, I
And now
think
you
it's
want to
from the
be connected
1700s.
to those same people.
Come on, Wani. Like
You
that's
guys
a
are
bit
really,
weird to
really
yeah.
say.
He
bad.
Like
said on
it's
my
my
mom's
It
side, I
ancestors
ain't
that were
weird
found
to say
out
that's
enslaved
that
there.
they were
history.
slaves too.
You guys are really, really,
I
really
found out on
horrible.
my mom's side. I'm just like you.
I am your brother.
Dan, no
What?
disrespect, but
Most
my experience
okay.
in Ghana, there was not a lot of organization. There wasn't a lot of organization. In fact, they were
In
hiring
terms of
us
what?
to help in terms of records. There wasn't a whole lot of organization, and I'm not talking about rural Ghana. Although I did go to Hohoi in rural Ghana in Apaso. I'm
I
referring to
can
a,
give you the explanation for a lot of these things. It's very complicated. You see, in Ghana, you
but
would
that's what I'm
see
telling.
a
That's what I'm telling you.
Lamborghini.
Is it should it? I'm telling you, records are
Mhm.
simple. They're very simple.
Yeah,
This department, the Census Bureau keeps records. They keep birth and death certificates and marriage statistics. It's very simple. Statistics numbers have to be simple. When you get complicated, let me tell you what, you're talking about bullshit. When it gets
the,
complicated, that's
let me
bullshit. The
tell you
truth is very
why.
simple.
Let me tell you why it's more complicated. They did it only when they cared to do it. So what this means is you will have some things that are extremely well documented and some areas that are extremely well documented. And there's some areas where there's absolutely nothing. And it's the analogy that I could use for this is the same way you could see a Lamborghini on an unpaved road, like a a like untarred road or whatever.
The
Do you get
way
what
his
I'm saying?
brain
Like a
works is
village road.
crazy.
Did you just
It's the
compare the
same way.
Lamborghini to being on a dirt road?
Yo, the way they brain
Yeah,
work
being
is
like a
crazy.
Lamborghini being on a dirt road.
I
That's
got a
that's
question
the
for
analogy that I could
Geraldine.
use.
What did you mean by they tried to Africanize you, like your guy friend?
That's all they know to do.
So
What do you mean by that?
I knew I knew somebody was going to ask me that. So basically, um, I think a lot of and I we really I've been following you guys for a while. We really need to have this conversation, but a lot of black guys from Africa they seek American women, and I think, and I'm not saying all, but what I notice is that it's like we're some type of fetish. Um but they want you to be more like an African woman, meaning, even by me being in this space and I'm able to articulate myself. And, sometimes I know how, if I'm on a job and something, is not right, I know when to speak up for myself. Not to be the angry black woman, but I just know how to say things. So a lot of times I learned was sometimes you have to play stupid, and a lot of times they want you to be kind of,
Dumb.
yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
Africanizing. So if you acted like an African woman, you would be quiet and cheat on him.
See, I didn't. So, okay, so I'm learning. I'm from New Orleans. So the only people I know was, Black American people. And of course, they have white people, but New Orleans is a majority, Black American. This is my first time interacting with so many, African people from the continent. And I learned a lot. I learned so much, especially being in this space. And one thing about a lot of African people, they want to know everything about you, but you can't really know too much about them and their culture.
sneaky,
So
sneaky.
yeah, yeah. But it's not just the men, it's the women as well. And I work with them. I went to school here. I went to school with them. So it's basically like, and it's completely they're completely different. When I see a black American person, I feel a sense of peace and at ease. But when I'm around African people, it's a lot of times I kinda, and this is bad, this is so bad, but I kind of feel more comfortable around white people than I do African.
Oh shit, it's bad.
It's
You can feel they
bad.
juju vibes. They juju vibes is bad.
And when I speak of, sometimes as having feelings, I sometimes, I don't know if everybody's like this, but sometimes you don't even have to say anything to me, but I can feel your disdain towards,
Yeah. Yes.
you
Yeah.
know, so I can feel it. So a lot of times you're correct. So when I used to tell the guy that I was dating, I would be like, it's just something different. Even with his family, I learned a lot. I learned the lies. Oh my goodness. The stereotypes, my goodness. And you don't want to be like that. You want to look at everybody as being black. But if you would have told me before I moved to I'm in Minnesota right now, but if you would have told me about the FBA movement when I was in New Orleans, I was a Pan-Africanist. I believed in all black people. But when
Yeah.
I
Me too.
I got around um a lot of African people, I realized that they don't view us the same. Even when they're nice. They have a transactional relationship with us.
Mm.
It's always something. And I don't want to be disrespectful, and I don't want to, and I don't want to, it's a continent, but man, it's different. It's different,
I
y'all. It's
believe you. I'm
different.
from Arkansas, so we definitely can pick in the South. I think because we've been exposed a little bit differently, or it's so overt in your face that in the South we could tell. You could just look at us, and we could tell your disdain from a mile away. We could pinpoint it. We know exactly how you feel about us. You could put our money. The slight things that they do is they put your money in. Instead of putting it in your hand, they'll put it on a counter and stuff like that. They do like little,
Yeah.
very sly, small things to try to like get you.
Yeah.
So
I want to add,
damn,
I'm going to let you guys finish, but I want to add this. I want to add that, I don't want, I really do believe in us as a people. The guy, like I told you, I was dating a guy for, over a year. It was always, oh, you're not, I just can't believe you just not like, you so soft, you speak so soft, you just not like the rest of them. That is so disrespectful. I got it at work. I went to nursing school here. I got it from, but it was all African people who was say this to me. It's like a white person
yeah,
telling
you a
you,
good
"Oh,
Negro.
you not like the rest of them niggas."
Yeah, you a
That's
good
how it
Facts.
Negro.
felt.
You a good
Yeah.
Negro, and they don't
You one of these
understand those
house niggas.
small.
He ain't out there in the field with the rest of them
They
niggas.
don't understand
Oh
those
my.
small
Yeah.
innu nuances about our culture. So when they're saying that to us, they don't really know how backhanded of a compliment that they're trying to, they're basically pinning us up, trying to pin you up on something. Like you're better than this person.
Exposure. That's, ladies and
Are you a
gentlemen, that's what
credit to
this
your race?
Uh,
that's what this space was created for, to expose that. I couldn't say it because that would make me a bigot, but that's what I wanted. That was my hope, that would come out organically, because that's what it is. And it goes back to what Dr. Snyder's identified in their book. They said the trade, meaning the transatlantic slave trade in West Africa, the trade not only commercialized the economy and changed the everyday life of Africans, but it also corrupted them. Allegedly, African kings sold wives with whom they were angry. African parents sold their fucking children. I said fucking. Dr. Snyder didn't. Whom they could not feed. Desperate Africans sold themselves. Barbeau told of a son who defeated his royal father's efforts to sell him by first selling his father, only to meet on his return by a fellow tribesman who took his profits and sold him. That slave trade corrupted them spiritually. That's why we different. That's why the vibe when I got off that goddamn plane to do my research in Ghana, I was waiting to see, to get that feeling like I do in New York, Los Angeles, D.C., Atlanta, Birmingham, New Orleans, Savannah, South Carolina. It don't matter. I get around my foundational black Americans, and it's like, what up? What's up? I feel a vibe. And when I got there, I cried. Well, that vibe wasn't there. They felt like cousins, but it was just kind of like, who are these people? Something was done during that slave trade that separated us spiritually. Can they get back right? Yes, but first they're gonna have to humble themselves. What you're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen, is a group of people who think that we're fucking property, because that's what we were the last time we met in this turnaround. We were property. But God got a sense of humor, because now we running shit. And a lot of them have a hard time dealing with that.